Hello, everyone, and welcome to It's Dangerous to Go Alone. I am DJam98, and
Uh,
sitting me virtually is Salty.
Hi, I'm Salty. We.
I hope you are. So today we'll be playing It's Dangerous to Go Alone. If none of you, for some reason, don't know whether It's Dangerous to Go Alone, this is a free agent tournament. So that means all players have registered individually and have been placed onto teams 48 hours ago and are now ready to start playing in this tournament. What do you think about that, Salty?
Uh, I don't know, man. I haven't been an FA in a while. But I mean, hey, whether you're an FA or not, you can always enjoy a good tournament with random people, I guess.
Indeed. So, the first maps we'll be seeing today are Splat Zones on Humpback Pump Track, Rainmaker on Muscle Forge Fitness, and Tower Control on Walleye Warehouse.
Is it play all three or
Um,
best of three?
these are play all three because
Play all three. Okay.
the first 4 rounds are Swiss, so each game will gain you a certain amount of points, and the top 4 players will be moving on to the next round.
That's good to know. Can't wait to see the epic raid duels on Walleye Warehouse. It'll be very
Yeah,
enjoyable.
it is. Yeah, Walleye Warehouse definitely has a lot of range, and you can definitely get a stingray in there and just fire it loose. And the enemy won't know what's hitting them until who knows they're out and cold.
Uh, yeah. Honestly, all of these maps have a lot of room to just abuse specials in general. Like humpback zones with booyahs, and then muscle forge fitness. You kind of just have like a lot of great bomb rush places, and Ray always being great on Rainmaker to stop the rain from doing things.
Indeed. So, well, let's get into a bit more discussion about humpback pump track splat zones. So this map is quite infamous for its use of a booyah bomb being able to cap the zone with just one.
Yeah, just the way the booyah works. I'm assuming like probably the slants is the thing that makes that possible.
It,
Uh,
yeah,
okay.
I would I would agree with that. It's because yeah, the booyah bomb works in a sphere going outwards. It just can cover the whole zone that way. It's just instant cap.
Yeah, and it's very fast too, and there's not a lot of things that could stop it outside of killing the Booyah user before they launch the Booyah. So leads are very strong on the map because you can just insta cap a zone and just force the enemy team to like count down a penalty before they're able to score more points.
But particularly with splat zones, if you do manage to cap it, it does give the enemy a massive penalty. Unlike majority of the other modes where if you get a penalty, it's generally not too difficult to clear. Splat zones penalties are very punishing.
Yeah, like it's not too out of the blue that you will see a penalty where it'll take like about a solid minute to count down, which in Splatoon that's about 2 to 3 team fights depending on how fast they're going.
Indeed. So we're just waiting on our teams to join the lobby before we start this first round. If you weren't aware what teams we'll be watching, we'll be watching the Childlike Chi against Fearful Theta. Unfortunately, we can't currently change what the team names are at the top. so we'll have to be making do with Team A versus Team A. But team on the left will be the Alpha team, and the team on the right will be the Beta team in terms of the Alpha and Beta brackets. But let's go. Splat zones on Humpback Pump Track. On the side of the Beta, we have Tri-Slosher, Aerosplay, Splat Junior, and a Tensor. And then on the side of the right,
But anyway, bubbles are still also really good. They're able to insta-cap zones really easily as well if you place them correctly, and as well, they also just apply a lot of pressure, forward pressure when it comes to moving in, and they just make pushing in a lot easier. Especially in this current day and age where there's just a lot of really quick kill times and just a lot of survivability. Bubbles just giving you that, like, those 3 huge HP shields that can just turn into nuclear missiles within the span of a few seconds is very strong indeed.
Indeed. Bubbles do have a very offensive capacity as we see the green team has already taken the lead, setting the lead down to 22, but the zone has flipped once again to Childlike Cheese as they count down from that penalty, about to reach their 58 and hopefully secure themselves the lead back once again.
I really like how Orange team is handling their control right now, their map control. They're not really pushing in too deep. They're kind of just building up specials, but also trying to take offensive positions to try to see if they can win any fights on the incoming team. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pull anything off, partly due to the good special usage of the green team. However, they do have a lot of specials out right now, so it is completely possible for them to just kind of retake zone here in a few seconds.
Indeed, with 2 specials, including a Booyah Bomb at the ready, it is absolutely possible that they can take the lead right now. And there we go. The Cheese shoot a Booyah Bomb, however, is not able to cap the zone. But and there we go. The Cheese do take the zone, giving them a bit more of a penalty. And with only 1 player remaining on the side of the Thetas, that is going to be the end of that push and a penalty of 48.
Yeah, that is going to be a very big penalty for them to climb over. And for a fact, they're not going to make it easy for them to climb over it either, because just the aggression that they're showing right now is very, very good.
Indeed, there's a lot of aggression. Zone flipping left, right, and center. The Cheese do have possession of it once again, but with 2 players down on the side of the Thetas, it's not going to be an easy time to make them give a counter push. But Nox does get the pick onto Unseen. Bombs and Splatshot Jr. in the zone, losing control, and the Thetas regain control over the zone. Points are very even, only 7 points that differ between the Cheese and the Thetas. And with 2 Booyah Bombs coming out, that is going to secure the zone and push the enemy back just the tad further with only 50 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I really like, although he's dead now, I really like the way that Nox was able to stay alive during that whole interaction. It basically kept the lead of the Cheese intact, which was under jeopardy considering that there was so much presence from the other team right there. Survivability is something that's really useful, especially when trying to hold zone and trying to hold a lead and spot zones especially. So just really good awareness and whatnot from Nox there.
Yeah, and a trade occurring right as we're about to head into the final seconds. The Thetas are going to need to make... Sorry, the Cheese are going to need to make a push with... Oh, there we go. 2 Booyah Bombs. Is that going to flip the zone? No, it hasn't sent it into neutral. The Cheese managed to... the Cheese unfortunately don't manage to cap the zone, and that is going to be game 1 going towards the Thetas. 78-72. That was a very close game.
Yeah, that was a very close game. A lot of back and forth. A lot of back and forth, a lot of survivability, a lot of kills. At the end of the day, though, a lot of really crucial people when it came to maintaining zone just stayed alive, and that eventually just gave them the win and allowed them to hang on to that lead just long enough.
Indeed it does, and that was a great way to start our first match of the day. But for our second match, we're going to be heading to Rainmaker on Muscle Forge Fitness.
This map's weird.
How's it weird?
The geometry's just kind of awkward, but it's also you can also pull some really funny stuff. As well, there's just like a lot of like corners that you can use, and with Bomb Rush especially, since Bomb Rush is how do I put it? Bomb Rush uses like the left side of your Inkling compared, which is not really like it's like the only thing that does that because like Inklings are generally right-handed, but with Bomb Rushes they turn into left-handed squids apparently. So
ambidextrous.
Yeah, they're ambidextrous, but only for launching bombs, I guess. So, I mean, good for them. Go off. But there's a lot of corners where you can just easily use bomb rushes here, to great effect without really being punished too much, because it's just really hard for people to poke you. I know I've used some of those angles, and it's kind of funny. Also, like, just there's a lot of small parts in this map where like you can kind of just chunk up this map into like small different sections. So like generally specials that are able to cover a wide area are just really good. So think like your booyahs, your bubbles, your bomb rushes. You're probably gonna see a lot of that.
Yeah, but I'd like to point out, particularly with Muscle Forge Fitness Rainmaker, it is quite a quick map to cap. As you can go straight around the right and hook to the Rainmaker pedestal. But let's get this second match underway. We have the Thetas versus the Cheese. Thetas in orange wielding a Squelcher, flings a roller, end zap, and a Forge splatter shot. On the side of the Cheese, we have a Ballpoint, a Kensa 96, a Squeezer, as well as the Splatter Shot Junior making a return.
I actually kind of dig this roller pick from the Cheese, mainly because like they've been using like a lot of short range weapons. So if the roller's just able to find the right opportunity and just outplay them, like they can do like a lot of quick. They can get like a lot of quick, easy kills. And in a game like Rainmaker, like quick, easy kills are probably the best way to just push the Rainmaker forward.
But what an impressive first push from the team here. The Thetas made an impressive push all the way up to 22, using that right hook at the start of the game to get a very early and easy lead. They'll manage to pick off three of the Cheese to make that push. And with 2 members of the Cheese down, holding that Rainmaker, that might be the end to that push, as the Thetas do gain a bit more turf and take the Rainmaker.
I really like the position the Cheese are at right now is honestly kind of strong. That was a really good pick off for the Rainmaker.
That was an onion.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
With that splat using the Rainmaker, I didn't even see that player coming.
That was a hard call out on the movement there. But overall, like just the map control that they're currently exhibiting is just really nice as well. Like it's really good. They have a lot of control. There's not a lot of places where they can move, and where they can move, you can just kind of expect it as well.
Indeed, and that is when you do have a roller, you do need that turf, and with not having too many players that are only an NZAT really that's great at covering turf, it does make the roller's job a little bit more difficult than it normally would be.
It's a little bit of an unfortunate misplay on the bubbles, but I mean, it happens. Bubbles are hard. Overall, like, really good positioning off of the forge in the most part. A roller over there in the far left corner. Going for a massive flank. Let's see a few seconds if it pays off or not.
But there we go. The cheese do grab the Rainmaker to try and make a hop dash for the pedestal. Getting some bubbles out, but doesn't seem to be enough. The last player jumps out of that area as the cheese do make their counter push, getting a lot of turf onto the map.
Yeah, really, really good defense on the cheese there. Just perfect positioning. They're able to easily just fall on the enemy team the moment they tried pushing out. Really good.
Indeed, and Captain Ash with that roller, showing what rollers are made of, coming down at one point and just getting a roller all over, but is not able to get the pick onto the ball point, on Ray's ball point, as the cheese do defend that push and start to make a counter push of their own.
This counter actually looking fairly strong. Like, you do see one dropping here. They're gonna give up the high ground. Unfortunately, no. The rain seems like it's gonna still stay alive. You have the jet. You have two on top right. The rain's gonna fall here.
And that was a great team coordination coming in from a pincer attack from two of the members onto that Rainmaker, giving them no chance at survival whatsoever.
Yeah, that's just again a really great defense on the cheese here. The cheese are just defending really well. They know what they're doing. They know where to position themselves, and it's really hard on the enemy team to be able to kind of push back.
Indeed, and that Rainmaker was going to reset, but does get picked up by the cheese. They're going to try and have another shot at this push. They've got 30 seconds left. If they're going to make a push, this is going to be one of their last pushes, if not their last. But no, there comes the roller from above, unseen with the Booyah Bomb, trying to get that roller down. Unfortunately, isn't able to get the pick, but then the roller comes out. Unseen, get that pick onto Captain Ash, gets the pick onto Andrews. That is 2 down. This could be the push they need.
He's working really hard here.
The Rainmaker is picked up. One player down on each team right now.
Oh,
2 players down on the side of the cheese. This could be the push they need, but no! They do go down. Unfortunately, we're not able to spot the Tenta missiles, or just had a bit too much damage and got hit by the explosion radius. And that did get the Rainmaker down. And this does give the second game to the Thetas. However, we are heading into the third game, as this is a play all 3, as every point will matter onto who moves on to the top cut.
That's just really unfortunate. That was actually a really good comeback there that they were making. Just, missiles, especially in Rainmaker, missiles can easily close out games. If your Rainmaker carry is weakened, then there's not much you can do about it, especially when you're trying to go up a choke. So, I mean, it's just unfortunate at the end.
Indeed. But they do still have the chance to get at least 1 point, as this is a play all 3. So we aren't going to see Tower Control Walleye Warehouse.
Yeah. I expect hopefully a lot of range, if not a lot of swim speed to get to places quickly. I also expect a lot of Ray duels to be happening, just because Ray is just kind of funky on this map.
Indeed.
Also, just a lot of I would also see like a good amount of bubbles, bomb rushes, just stuff that allows you to push in, since because of how narrow the stage is, it's really easy to defend. So you definitely do need to as much firepower as possible to get in.
Yeah, it's a very, as you said, it's a very easy map to defend, and with the tower going a pretty narrow route straight through the center of the map, it's not like there's any corners for the defense to really hide in as the tower makes its round, compared to some maps like Piranha Pit or Kelp Dome, where the tower certainly doesn't go through the middle by any stretch of the word.
Yeah, yeah. No, generally, this map is definitely this map generally the tower goes through the middle, which means that all the high ground is just really strong in general.
But yep, let's go. Let's get started. Tower control on Walleye Warehouse. We have the Thetas versus the Cheese. On the side of the Thetas, we have a Splattershot Junior, Roller, Jet Scorcher, and a Splashomatic. On the side of the Cheese, we have a Hydra, a Gal, a Grey and Zap, and a Kensa Splattershot.
On the size of the theater, I really like their comp right now. That splash and that carbon roller will definitely pop off together. Junior really great for paint, as well as also you just have the C-Jet for that extra support on the back. Not that it matters because this 52 is currently popping off, but
But that
yeah,
was a lot of players dead on the map just then. There was 2 players down on the Thieves and 3 players down on the Cheese. And this is going to starting to be a counter push for the Cheese as they do take the lead and start to make their own push as they head into the second checkpoint, getting players down. Another
it's
3
not
players
looking good for the
down.
theater. The way that Hydra's positioned, and now with that Booyah and whatnot, it seems like they're gonna get locked out here. This map is notorious for locking out simply because of just how easy it is to just continuously spray the opponent's spawn zone.
But this is definitely an interesting thing to see, as it's completely the opposite of what we just saw in the previous 2 maps, where the Thetas had got the KO in both of the previous rounds, but now the Cheese do take this third game, which does give them the point they need and a chance to go into the top cut. We may see them later.
That was a really strong performance by the Cheese. They knew what the map was capable of. They knew what they were able to do with the map, and they abused it very effectively.
Indeed, they did. But that is going to be the end of the first round. I'll give a quick score update on what the other teams are doing so far in this tournament once my page will reload. So, we just saw the Childlike Cheese versus the Fearful Thetas, with the Thetas taking that win 2-1. Also happening now, the Enlightened, Epsilon, and the Beta Bows just finished their match. Beta Bows took that 2-1. And the final match we're waiting on is the Detonating Deltas versus the Alphabetic Alphas, sitting at 2-0 with only 1 match remaining. And Gradual Gamma did have a bye this round. So once that final match is over, we'll be heading right back. We'll be just taking a quick break to fix up some issues that are happening behind the scenes. And we'll be right back with you. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to It's Dangerous to Go Alone. We're going to be heading into our second round of today's matches. This will be the Beta Bows versus the Gradual Gamma. Sitting virtually beside me once again, it's Salty.
I am currently questioning the names and how they came to be because they are very nice and cool, and I like saying them. Like the Beta Bows and Gradual Gamma.
Well, I came up with the names, but all the team names are always alliterative from A counting down to how many ever teams we have. So, and today's themes was the is it the Roman alphabet? I don't know.
Hmm.
The
I don't know
alpha,
alphabet either. It's
beta,
okay.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
But yes, we do have the Beta Bows versus Gradual Gamma. Do you want to just quickly run over the maps we'll be having in this round?
Sure. We'll have Inkball Art Academy for Clan Blitz, Muscle Forge Fitness for Spot Zones, and Manta Maria for Rainmaker.
Indeed. Now, we'll be heading into Inkblot Art Academy on Clan Blitz first. Interesting with clans on this, there is that little hump that gets you into the zone, so into close to the basket.
Yeah. It's a very choky area. Like it's really hard to get past, but it's also really good if you're able to just get through and get a couple clams, and it's just really good for quick and easy aggro plays.
Indeed, but we are getting started into this match as we have the Beta Bows versus the Gradual Gamma. On the side of the Beta Bows, we have a Splash-O-Matic NZAP Ink Brush, as well as a Flingza Roller. On the side of Gradual Gamma, we have a I forgot what that's the 96, isn't it?
Yep, that should be a 96 deco.
A Splattershot Jr., a Tri-Slosher, and a Squiffer.
Well, as you can already see, the Gradual Gamma have taken a very commanding role in the current map control situation. Most of the mid is covered in their ink, and it seems like they'll soon be able to make a push. But it seems like also the Beta are not having it and are trying to sneak through. Unfortunately, it fails, and now they're 2 down, which can allow the Gamma to make a counter push here.
But with 2 players down on the side of the Bows, this might be the push that they need to get into this clan basket with a clam right there. Baller coming in, getting a bit of turf, but with a player behind that hump, that is going to be a successful defense as the Beta Bows do secure their defensive area, and with the point still sitting at 100-100.
Yeah, really good by the Bows there. It seems like they're going to be able to have a push of their own now. They're very quickly pushing into the enemy court. You see the ink brush going up from top left, trying to take away the attention.
Well, Tri-Slosher does spot them, but they are going to need one more clam to get the pity, to get a power clam, I should say. But no, they get splattered down by the Tri-Slosher and ending that possible flank push. But was that a... No, that was the splash. I thought that was a Squiffer versus a Squiffer.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't a Squiffer versus a Squiffer, because I'd be popping off. But anyways, that splash down, really well-timed splash down there.
Down, getting 2 splats onto the Beta Bows, and the roller raining down carnage from above.
That was a really good positioning by the roller. Seems like the brush over here is going to go for a far flank. You see the other 2 down right. Unfortunately, the roller is going to fall there, and they're going to lose that power clam. Brush might pick it up, though, here, and with the other 2 on the other side, it could be possible for them to score for the first time. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, because the 96 shuts them down.
Indeed they do, and it's going to be another attempted push by that brush that ends in, once again, another failure. But we're into the final 2 minutes, and yet there is yet to be a single push. Well, a single successful push, I should say. There have been many attempts, but none of them have quite succeeded.
Yeah, both teams are doing really good on the defense. Neither of them have been able to break through. They've just been really good at their positioning, really good at taking the picks that are needed, and are just really good at surviving in general. It definitely does seem like one of those clams games where the first team to score looks to be the team that will win this game here.
It could very well be, as, yeah, the first push, while it's never going to give you a lot of points, it's still a lead. And a lead is always going to get you the win.
But two armors coming out here. We see the zap fall for Beta. Gamma have a man advantage here. They're going to try to see if they can go into the court. You see the junior in 96 going in, but the Splash with a perfect shark here. Pushes them both out, gets the double pick. Splash over here taking control of left, and it seems like that we're going back to a neutral game state here. Or maybe even a counter push from the Beta.
But that is, yeah, they are sitting on 18 clans right now. Inkjet coming out, giving a bit of pressure,
Jet.
getting 2 splats down. Power Clam coming up to the basket. Do they shoot it in? It is in. That is the first points. 30 seconds left on the clock. Points all the way getting down past 50. 2 players left on the side of the Beta Bows. This is the first push they needed. An impressive first one at that. It will give...
Very good push by the Beta there.
It will give Gradual Gamma a pity clam and a chance to get overtime. But they do need to get the overtime to get this win. And they only have 10 to 15 seconds to make this push.
Really great pick by... Really great pick from the Brush right there. Brush is really going in. Gonna shut down this push where it stands. Only 2 left on the side of Gamma. Oh, but only the Splash left on far right, but it's too late.
Not able to get to the basket in time, as time does run out. And that is going to be the end of game 1, going towards the Beta Bows.
Really great game 1. A lot of great defensive plays. But yeah, end of the day, when you have a Clams game that goes on without a score, eventually the team that scores will be the victor.
Indeed. And so that is our first game, Clan Blitz on Eekbot Art Academy. We will be moving on to Muscle Forge Fitness once again, but this time on Splat Zones.
Muscle Forge Splat Zones is very... It's also weird. This map's just weird in general. The thing is that the zone is kind of separated between like the 2 large trenches in the middle, which means that you either have to go from the right or the left, which can be very dangerous, especially if the enemy team is running like a bunch of sloshers or just things that do really good and that just throw paint around a lot, that can damage you downwards. So like sloshers and rollers come to mind specifically. However, if you also have a long range weapon, you can also just kind of sit in your plat, or like right before the middle of the map, like right on the bridge, even if you have the space to, and just kind of spray down and paint the zone that way. So there's just a lot of positions you can take on the map. A lot that you don't really see in other maps when it comes to splat zones. So it's a very interesting one.
Indeed, and wherever your position will ultimately depend on how you play. If you're playing more of a long range, you might be sitting on the snipe. If you're playing more of a close range, you might be trying to get those slosher splats through those bunker areas. It's very much dependent on how you want to play, but we are heading into the next match. Splat Zones on Inkblot Art Academy on the side of the the Beta Bows. We have a Splashomatic and Zap. I'm getting these weapons messed up. An Inkbrush and a Flingza on the side of Gamma. We have a N-Zap, Flingza, Tri-Slosh, as we said before, and a Squiffer.
Very, very cool. Very, like, interesting yet fun comps to watch on both sides. You have a Squiffer, you have a nice variation of range and just painting capabilities. I mean, all those weapons can paint relatively well on the side of the Gamma here. And on the side of the Beta, you have, you know, your brush and your two short-range weapons. So they also have a lot of paint, although I would say they're probably a bit more aggressive than the Gamma right now. But both comps seem very geared towards fighting and just maintaining control.
Indeed, but with the first push sitting at 30 points, still securing that zone with only 2 players left alive, that is a impressive first push going all the way down to 27. Great push from the Beta Bows, however, Gradual Gamma does secure the defense, giving Beta Bows a 56-point penalty and allowing Gradual Gamma to make a push of their own, getting past 70 and still counting down.
Very good hold here by the Gamma, although it does seem to go away after a little bit. Very good hold though by them. Really good paint control. Just also as well, the Beta just used their specials really well. Were able to get the picks that they needed. Now they have map control, and it seems like they're gonna be going for the KO here with just how far up they are right now.
Indeed, but with this, and they have taken the lead back. 2 players down on the side of Gradual Gamma. The Ink Rush pushing up right into the enemy's base, and they do seem to have gone into a camping situation. Ink Brush there with Fosh getting a splat, but does get taken down by the Flingzarola. 2 players down on the side of Gradual Gamma. They're going to need to make a push with 5 seconds left. Missiles aren't going to be enough to cap the zone, and that is the second game going towards the Beta Bows.
That was a fantastic walkout by the Beta Bows. Very textbook, very to the point, just in your face. You know, I'm gonna shoot you the moment you come down from spawn. Just really great aggression there. They knew exactly what they were doing. Just great walkout overall.
Indeed, it was having particularly with Fosh with that brush, just getting some splats over those small ledges that did give them took Gradual Gamma down the players they needed and giving the Beta Bows the win they wanted. But
Anyways,
now,
now we're going to my favorite map in the game.
is it Manta Maria?
Yes, because it's ship.
Manta Maria on Rainmaker. Now, you like Manta Maria, but you like Manta Maria Rainmaker.
No, but it's Manta Maria, so it's possible.
What makes Rainmaker Manta Maria stand out in particular for you?
There's 2 routes. You can either go the long one or the short one. Generally, if it just kind of incentivizes playing like quick Rainmaker, because you almost always want to take the left side. But the thing is that there's a lot more to paint on the right side, so you're able to actually build up stuff better. So you kind of just have to guess, like at least during the beginning of the game, like whether or not like your opponent is going to take the quick route, which is through the left side, like from a defending standpoint, like whether they go through the left side, which is very quick and they can easily get to sub 30, which has its advantages and disadvantages depending on what you're playing. Or you can just go to the right and just start painting and whatnot and just starting to gather specials to actually make more of a proper push, right? Instead of just the fast, quick one with very little resources, you have more of a slower one with more resources to work with. So, other than that, Manta's just great. Lots of really tight corners with an open middle. It's just really great for most weapons, especially aggro weapons. So it's just a fun map to watch in general. Layout.
Indeed, but let's get this map started. Rainmaker on Manta Maria. We have the Beta Bows in green and the Gradual Gamma in a purpley blue. But let's get started. We have in the side of Beta Bows, we have a Splash, Enzap, Squelcher, and a Flingzarola on the side of the Gradual Gamma. We have a Kensa Splattershot, Hydra, a Tri-Slosher, and a Squiffer.
Lots of mobility on the Beta Bows right now. It seems like they're definitely going to try to take that right path for them so that they can try to score as many points as possible very quickly. Just a lot of mobility in general. And
And with
the
3 players down,
seems like though, yeah, they did go 3 down there. Really good stoppage though by the Flings. They're just kind of painting over right side, making sure that they can't go through. Unfortunate.
oh no, Jed falls off the map, unfortunately. And with 3 specials at the ready for the beta bows, this is and getting a lot of turf control. It does look like they're going to make a push right now as they do pick up the Rainmaker and do go for that. Will start to go for the right sides and then change their mind almost immediately. Do take the lead, but with the Rainmaker, the last one left alive, deciding the only option left is to go up above, but gets caught in ink all around them, and that is a team wipe for the Beta Bows.
It's really unfortunate there. Just kind of caught between 4 Inklings that are just out for blood there. But it seems like, the map is kind of reset here. You have the Beta Bows just trying to get back in, trying to get specials. But it seems like the Gamma are going to have a really nice push here with how many specials they have. Going out with all out right now with the Inkjet, missiles, and armor. And it seems like they're going to try to find some desperate picks here. Unfortunately, oh no, that Inkjet is going to find something there.
Indeed, and we're heading... Points right now are sitting very even, 69 to 70.
Ooh.
With great pick from that Squiffer
Go
there.
off,
Second
Squiffer. Go
one,
off.
but does get taken down by the Jet Scorcher with that bit of extra range from Fosh.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's going to fall to the Jet there, but really good play by the Squiffer. The Hydra on Gamma is going to fall. It's not good because they probably won't have armor for this defense. Ooh, Ray goes out, targeting the K-shot here. It seems like the Beta are gonna pull a push soon. Let's see what happens.
But there we go, the Splashmatic does get that splat. 2 players down on the side of Gradual Gamma. Beta Bows are making their push, get the lead all the way up to 46. Suction Bomb Rush coming out isn't going to be enough to pop that Rainmaker shield, and Gradual Gamma do successfully defend. However, that lead is down further, all the way down to 46. However, it is still very obtainable for Gradual Gamma to take this lead.
Very good push by the Beta there. Again, they used their mobility to full extent. Got to sub 50 through left side. Just overall really strong mobile push, and it seems like they're going to try to retain it here with this Jet, which the Ray is going to find too. Seems like it's going to virtually shut down anything that the Gamma want to do right now. They're going to be forced to retreat, and it seems like the Beta are going to be able to find a counter push here.
Indeed it does. They got 2 splats onto the Gradual Gamma, giving them the turf and the player count they need to make this push. Squelcher trying to outrange a Hydra. Neither of them managed to getting the pick onto each other. But the Rainmaker does go down, gets re-picked up by Beta Bows. However, not able to get a further lead. 20 seconds left on the clock. Only a few seconds left. They pick it up further, getting down to 30. Drop down. This is going to be an incredibly difficult push for Gradual Gamma if they want to get a point in this Swiss round.
Yeah, it's definitely an uphill battle here for the Gamma.
It does look like we're heading into overtime. They pick up the Rainmaker and Ink Armor coming out from the side of the Beta Bows. They're going to need to get it all the way down to 31 if they want to secure this lead. However, if that Rainmaker does go down, that will be the end of this push. The Rainmaker just shooting out its missiles whenever it can. 2 players down on the side of the Beta Bows. Starting to make their push. Get some turf. Player down on the side of Gradual Gamma. Not making much of a push. Remember, there is a countdown on that Rainmaker. Only 16 seconds left. Counting down faster as they retreat. 6-5. But, gets splattered anyway by Silver.
Really great game overall. Just really great play, really great back and forth. But eventually, that mobility just kind of caught up with the Gamma there. Beta just had a lot of mobility and were able to get a push quickly before they were able to gun down that Rainmaker. So, really great job from both teams there, though.
Oh, look at that splat count. Silver sitting at 18. PT here sitting at 17. Very high KA rates for those team members, and congratulations to them. So now we'll be heading into the third round of this Swish. 3 out of 4 rounds. So 2 out of 4 rounds have been completed. And let's have a quick score update. Once the web page loads for me. There we go. Our round 2 scores are currently at Fearful Theta versus Alphabetic Alphas, sitting at 1-0. Still have yet to have 2 matches that they need to complete. We just saw the Beta Bows versus Gradual Gamma, 3-0, and on the side of the Childlike Cheese and Enlightened Epsilon is 2-1. So once we head into the third match, we will be returning, but we'll be just taking a quick break. Until then, we hope that you all will be sticking around. We'll see you soon. Hello, everyone, and we're back once again. Welcome to round 3. In this match, we'll be seeing Fearful Theta once again against Enlightened. I'm gonna have a trouble pronounce it. Epsilon, I believe, is how you say the word, even though I'm team. And sitting digitally beside me, we have Salty.
Hi. I was just reading the teams because they're very fun to read over and over again.
They are, and they sometimes these team names are a bit of a tongue twister, but not too much today, except for Enlightened Epsilon, because I can't ever pronounce it. Wait, Epsilon. Epsilon. Wait, what? I'm getting some words here. Epsilon. 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 Okay.
This is
Don't
going to
mind
be a
me.
fun set, just
Yeah.
mispronouncing team names.
I'm just quickly writing down these names in my side notes over here.
For the maps, we have the
Yeah, you
Reef
go.
from Tower Control, Wahoo World, Clam Blitz, and Skipper Pavilion Spot. Oh, it seems like we're going to start with the first map of the Reef Tower Control.
Alright. On the side of green, we have the Fearful Thetas. On the side of purple, we have Epsilon. And for the Thetas, we have a Slosher, Enzap, Splattersher Pro, and a Splash. On the side of, Sploosh. On the side of Epsilon, we have a Kensa Splatter Shot, also another Slosher, a Nautilus, and a Enzap.
Seems like a lot of firepower on both sides. So going to be a lot of fighting, like with that bucket double kill. Amazing slosh there. You're going to see the other bucket trying to stall out zone, but unfortunately, or stall out tower, but unfortunately he's going to fall there. You only have the K shot right now with missiles, and it seems like the Theta are going to have a really good push in here as they take the first check.
They do, but oh, what was? How did Sakant get that splat? I did not see how they got that one. But with 2 players down on the side of the Thetas, that might be the end of that push. They do manage to clear that first checkpoint, however, which is going to be extremely beneficial to them when they make their next push.
Yeah, really good inkjet there by the Nautilus there on the side of Epsilon. It seems like that he's just kind of popping off here, gonna take the tower. One here is also gonna fall, I believe that was the Zap on the side of Theta. And it seems like the Epsilon aren't out of this quite yet, as they just take the lead and are pushing towards the second check.
Yep, absolutely. There we go. Get a trade, well, kind of a trade between 2 players right now. Ends up getting the second splat. That's a Greek letter. It is a Greek letter. But we are getting a splat. One second splat. That is a
Really nice picks by the Zapper.
delayed wipe from Nox right there. And they are heading into the third... cleared the second checkpoint. Heading into the third checkpoint. 20 points remaining in this match. However, with 1 player left alive on the Thetas, that is going to be the end to that push, as the Slosher is hiding behind a basket right there. Sharking trying to get that splat, not able to, as the Slosher 1v1 does end with Wolf winning that one.
A really good push by the Theta there. But it seems like the Epsilon are going to have the map control needed here to try to make a counter push. Fortunately, the Slosher goes down to the K-Pro as the Theta regains some map presence here, and the Epsilon are going to go down to 2. They're going to go down 2 here. Seems like that their push is going to stop a little earlier than they would like. It's not looking good for the Theta right now, or for the Epsilon.
Indeed. And 1 player down on both sides isn't really much of a disadvantage, as it's pretty even as the tower is still in the middle. But the fearful Thetas, I believe, it's hard to see these team names, but fearful Thetas are making a push right now, as does manage to get Andre managed to get the splat, jumping out in the nick of time as 3 players were aiming to shoot them down, but managed to jump out just in the nick of time.
It just seems like, although the Theta haven't been able to break in and just get the knockout that they've been looking for so clearly throughout this entire game, they're just really good at just shutting down the Epsilon throughout this entire game. It's been a really good job on their part, even though the Epsilon are looking to turn that around right now.
Indeed they are. And with 2 players down on the Thetas, and with a lot of turf coverage right now, that is what they're looking for. But if no one on the tower, they're not making full effectiveness of 2 players being down. They are heading into the second checkpoint. 2 players down again on the Thetas. A flanker coming up from behind the tower, and with them splattered, 3 players down, nearly at the final checkpoint. Are they going to take the lead? Sitting at 24-24, they just need 1 player. They take the lead. 1 player left alive on the side of the Thetas. Is this going to be the KO? 3, 2, 1. That is the KO. Taking the lead and sweeping the KO. The Enlightened Epsilons do take the first game when it seemed not impossible earlier in this game.
Yeah, really, really good push there by the Epsilon. They saw the opportunity and they seized it perfectly there. Were able to easily get that KO. Eventually, it seemed like the Theta panicked, which is very unfortunate, but the Epsilon completely seized that opportunity and won the game in a very dominant fashion with that comeback.
Indeed. And our next map will be Wahoo World on Clamblitz. Now, Clamblitz, this is one of the ranked modes of Wahoo World that does have the retractable bridge, which leaves some opportunity open for some power clams to get shot into that basket very quickly from the mid.
Yeah, that's very true. The bridge is always something you have to keep an eye out for. It changes every 30 seconds. There's also a timer that everyone raves about on Twitter constantly on a monthly basis. But there's multiple ways to make sure when that bridge is going to cross over or not, when it's going to be activated, when it's going to be active, and you're able to make a push through up there. It's really important on this map since it's a crucial other avenue to take while pushing in, which allows you to diversify the amounts of directions you're pushing in from, which can make it easier to push in as a result.
Indeed, yeah. The bridge is very much a critical point in this stage. I'm getting shouted at from the side of how my pronunciation of, let me say it correctly this time, Epsilon was in this match. But let's go into our second match of this round. In green, we have the Fearful Thetas. In orange, we have the Enlightened Epsilons. And let's get this match started. On the side of the Thetas, we have a Flingzeroller, Splattershot Junior, Splattershot Pro, and Splat Julies for the first time. On the side of Enlightened Epsilons, we have a Kensa Splattershot, a Slosher, a Nautilus, as well as a Splattershot Junior, wielding Splattershot Junior on both comps.
Yeah, Junior really great on this map. When those bridges are down, those bombs are just really strong. Junior's also able to paint for forever. So, just a really strong option for this map in general. And other than that, the other comps seem really just kind of standard. A lot of really great weapons that you're allowed to push in with. And it seems like here that the Epsilon are going to get their first push in.
With a wipe as well. That is going to be a push they needed. Throwing the power clam, not able to get in, but they're able to pick it up. Their lead is now sitting at 51 points. The Epsilons are getting some more clams in, all the way down to 36. They still have 8 clams they can shoot in. Sorry, 6 as a player gets taken down. Are they able to get some more clams in? Yes, they do. A player goes down, and that might be the end to that push as there's only 2 players remaining. Kant picks up some clams that are on that rotating ring around the center of the map, and that push is the end. But don't forget, the Thetas do get that pity clam and a trade coming up from Captain Ash.
Yeah, really nice trade there from both players there. Not a lot you can do. Slosher here gonna just slosh over through the bridge, try to see if we can get a pick. But it seems like here that we're gonna have the Theta have a counter push. It would seem the power climb seems to go through, but unfortunately they're not gonna be able to get much off of it as the rest of them die quickly afterwards.
Yes, that soft wipe does put a quick end to that push. Sitting at 74, Wolf not able to make that jump over when the bridge was closing. Get some Tenta missiles over, and with 3 power clams now down to 2, that is a lot of clams for the Epsilons to make a push. That's 1 power clam in, 2 power clams in. Is this going to be a 3rd power clam in? No,
Oh,
the roller!
Not quite. Unfortunate.
The roller making an impressive defense at the end there. So, securing that area for defense they needed.
Despite the fact that they weren't able to get it down to 6, unfortunately, Epsilon are doing a really good job just keeping map control, not really letting Theta breathe right now. As we see here, we see the K-Shot get 2 picks here, and it seems like they're going to start over the push all over again. They're going to get it down.
And yeah, that is
all
power clams. They need 2 more clams in, but none of them are holding any clams at the moment. That, while they only have 2 clams remaining, unfortunately not able to get any clams to finalize that push. But there we go. The Fearful Thetas do get a power clam in and are sitting at 20 clams right now. Get some bubbles coming out all the way down to 40 points, 37 points. Are they going to be able to take the lead? Only 1 power clam left. They sees the power clam, throws it in. This could be the lead right now, but only a Flings are left alive on the battlefield for the Fearful Thetas. That could be the end, and is the end of that push. What an impressive return counter push from the Fearful Thetas.
Yeah, that was a really nice counter push there from them. Just a lot of mobility, a lot of great special usage, and a lot of clams that the Epsilon were just not expecting here. This game has gotten a lot closer very fast.
Indeed it has, and with 2 Tenta missiles firing off at the same time from Enlightened Epsilons, it is going to be the final 30 seconds. Fearful Theta are going to need to get a power clam ASAP if they're going to want to have this match continue on and hopefully get an overtime push. But another Captain Ash goes down, a jump coming out from the Enlightened Epsilon, but no, a counter push coming out from nowhere as a player jumps in. Are they going to be able to get some more clams in? No. However, they do still have a pity clam available, so it is going to go into overtime, but they only have 10-15 seconds to get a push. They need 2 players down on the side of Epsilons. Are they going to be able to open the basket in time? Onion coming up from behind. Gets the jump from around the back. Power clam going in. Is that enough? No! No!
Just enough.
Oh no! The power clam was shot and was spinning on the basket, but time just ran out.
That's a heartbreaker.
And that was just about to be the lead for them too.
Yeah, that's just a heartbreaker there. It really sucks when the clam is just spinning, breaking the barrier, but time calls.
Indeed it is. So that is Wahoo World Clam Blitz going to Epsilon once again. Now it's time for this final match of round 3. Skip a Pavilion on Splat Zones. So, what I find unique about this stage, what I find unique about this stage is that it's unlike pretty much every other stage. It's not completely symmetrical. It is split, but it's split in the middle, and it is a different way to attack the zone from whatever side you are on.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting map design, and especially for zones, it works really well. A lot of weapons work here. A lot of you generally see like a lot of high painting weapons, especially midliners that paint a lot, like Expo and Blob come to mind. So we'll see just what the teams pull out here.
Alright, let's go Splat Zones on Skipper Pavilion. On the side of the Thetas, we have a Flingza, Splattershot, Splattershot Pro, and a Aerospray with a lot of special. On the side of the Epsilons, we have a Cancer Splattershot, a Slosher, Nautilus, and a Grey Enzap.
You know, if I saw an Aerospray like that with that much special charge, I'd probably be groaning, but because I'm not playing the game, I will just watch content.
That does sound like a good idea to me. And it does seem the Thetas do have an early lead right now at 75. It did seem like they were going to get taken down. It was only one player was left alive. However, 2 players then went down on the side of the Epsilons, giving Thetas the chance to push further and get their lead all the way past 50 and continue to push.
Yeah, it's a very good hold here by the Theta. It seems like that they're really looking for this win. Unfortunately, they're gonna lose control here, and they're gonna go 2 down. But yeah, like really great control here by the Epsilon. Trying to go for mid. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to find it. It seems like they're going to be shot by both sides, which will probably allow the Theta to take back control. Yep. And now it seems like the Theta will try to count down this penalty and hopefully take a knockout.
Indeed, and with a complete wipe on the Epsilons, it is the push the Thetas needed to secure the zone. Tantum missiles, Ink Armor, and an Inkjet coming out for the side of Epsilons, trying to make that push, however, not able to get many picks, if at all any. However, setting the zone into neutral right now. Both teams painting over each other. 2 players left alive on either side as the Epsilons do take the zone.
Yeah, very good zone takeage here. It seems like the Theta aren't gonna leave the zone without a fight. As you can see, the Flames are over here trying to get some picks, trying to paint up. The Theta take it right back. Flings is pushing up, trying to get some picks here. Tries to go for the zap. Unfortunately, doesn't get the pick. Gonna go down. And it seems like no. It's a 2v2 here, scramble situation. And it seems like, yeah, the Theta will...
Ooh, Fish getting that splat. Setting, and then the neutral zone goes to neutral, gains control by the Epsilons, and that is going to be furthering their penalty. Not able to
Fish
clear it yet.
kind of popping off.
Yeah, still sitting at 32.
Really back and forth game here. A lot of pop-offs from individual players. Holding zone, getting them points, as you saw Fish there. Holding zone really well for his team. But it seems like, ooh, off the wipe.
But interesting that Captain Ash did manage to take the zone with a Booyah Bomb and the Aerospray right before they died and got a wipe. So it does give Thetas the chance to push back, as Epsilons did have a penalty to clear before getting into it. But getting close to taking the lead. However, gets into neutral, 2 points away. The Thetas take the control back once again, and is it gonna flip once again? No, as Fish does go down to Captain Ash, and a Booyah Bomb at the ready to throw it at any site of player movement.
Really, overall solid play from Theta here. They really want to take a game home this set. 2 Heartbreaker games over the course of this entire set. It seems like that they really are trying hard for this game.
But with getting the zone flipped once again, the Epsilons aren't going to make this easy for them as they're heading into the final 30 seconds of this match. Still, either team could take this win as the Epsilons do manage to clear their penalty and counting down further. Only 9 points needed, but so zone flips once again to the Thetas. 10 seconds remaining. Epsilons are going to need to make an impressive push if they want to take this zone back from the Thetas. Captain Ash securing this left side of the map, and that is going to be game 3 going towards the Fearful Thetas.
Yeah. Yep, congrats to the Thetas here. They just played really solidly. Held zone really well, and despite the fact that Epsilon was trying really hard to crack down on that lead, they just weren't able to crack it down, unfortunately. So just really good game, totally deserved. Really good set overall from both teams.
Indeed. And so now that is the end of round 3 for us in this set. So I'll give you guys a quick score update with what's happening with the other teams. So we just saw Fearful Theta versus Enlightened Epsilon. Won 2-1. Then outside of here, Gradual Gamma versus Detonating Deltas 3-0. Gradual Gamma does take that win. We're still waiting on any match results from the Beta Bows and the Alphabetic Alphas, and Childlike Chi did have a bye this round. So after a quick break, we'll be heading into round 4, which will be the final round of these preliminaries as soon as the Beta Bows and the Alpha finished their round in about 5 to 7 minutes. We'll get some confirmation on what our next games will be, and we'll be broadcasting round 4 to you all live. We hope to stay around and stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to It's Dangerous to Go Alone. We are now in the final round of the preliminaries, round 4. We will be witnessing the match between Detonating Deltas and the Childlike Cheese. So, sitting digitally, virtually, sitting somewhere in the world beside me, is Salty. How you going?
Hi. I finally get to see detonating deltas.
Yes, you do get to see the Detonating Deltas.
Anyways, the maps are Kelp Dome Remaker, Piranha Pit Tower Control, and New Albacore Hotel Clan Blitz.
Yep, so first map of this round will be Kelp Dome on Rainmaker. What do you think of these maps? Or this map in particular?
They're very not played.
Yep, that's definitely one way to say it. Rainmaker Kelp Dome is very much, let's say, a roundabout way of getting to the pedestal.
Yeah, the map is kind of huge, so it's really weird to push Rainmaker and defend Rainmaker especially. So,
Yeah, there's two main ways you can take it. You can take it round the flat side where you've got complete ink coverage and you can make generally a pretty steady push with your team. Or you can go around for a flankers route and go over the grates, which quickly gains you points. However, leaves you very open to being attacked. But here we go.
yeah.
We have the Detonating Deltas and the Childlike Keys. On the side of the Deltas, we have I forgot what it's called. A ballpoint NZAP, Cancer Splatter Shot, and a Cancer 52. On the side of the Keys, we have a Nautilus, a Jet Scorcher, Splatter Shot, and a NZAP.
The keys are gonna quickly go down here as the deltas quickly gain map control. Gonna push up. You see the Nautilus here trying to push in as the ballpoint is just spraying on them. And this push seems to have a lot of promise here for the deltas.
Indeed it does. So I believe the X's are the keys. So the keys are making a very aggressive first push all the way down to 12 and still getting some players there able to get some jumps in with only one player left. And there we go. The Deltas do get that very easy spot to defend from and starting a counter push of their own. But Unseen gets 2 splats down. The keys going down.
I'm sorry, we're getting yelled at by a little voice in our head. Anyway, the Kai are doing really good right now. You know, pushing it all the way down to 12. Very nice. Unfortunately, their 52 is going to go down here as that Sea-Jet takes a really strong position to take him out. And the Sea-Jet's going to move in with this Ray. The Kai are down 2 as the 52 is coming back, and they're currently setting up on the flat side of the map to try to stop any steady push from happening.
Indeed. So now the Deltas are making their own counter push, going over the rails, so leaving themselves very open to being attacked right now. And with only one player left alive, the NZAP, that will be the end of that push, as the Deltas have ended their push and the Keys successfully defend.
DJ, I'm going to politely ask you to please say Kai instead of Keys before the little voice in our head becomes ever louder.
Kai? Okay, I'll
Yeah,
say Kai.
it is the Kai, yeah.
I will get my pronunciation correct.
You know, the Delta just defending the push against the Kai. Really good defense there. Unfortunately, they're not going to go down as they get quickly flanked on the left side here, pushing away the Rainmaker. Thankfully, they get the Rainmaker to mid. And it seems like they're trying to build up, at the end of the day, like, Kelpdom is a very large map. It's really hard to get good pushes going, because it's a lot of, terrain to cover, so...
Indeed it is, and it does look like they're trying to set up for the boardwalk route once again, as they're not trying to push it very far, just trying to get turf, trying to get some splats in there. But there we go, this Kensa splatter shot coming in does take a pick onto the Rainmaker, giving the Kais, I should say, 2 players down as the Kais do take that, pop the Rainmaker and start to make a push with the Booyah Bomb and the Tentament Styles. They have not yet picked up the Rainmaker, and it is nearly reset, but it is heading back to the pedestal.
Yeah, the 52 here doing a really good job staying alive. Unfortunately, he dies there and then trade against the Knot. The Rain is also going to go down. This is kind of a poor position here to keep the push going, but it seems like the Kais are holding on over there on the right side. They're able to get the Rainmaker pop, and it seems like they might be able to push this a bit further.
Indeed. And we're heading into the final 45 seconds of this map. The Rainmaker is about to reset, does reset back in the center of the map. The Keys are going to want to be taking more of a defensive position now as they're heading into the final 30 seconds. They don't need to make a push to win. They just need to defend. They've already made their push to 12. However, with a disconnect from the Deltas, it is going to be incredibly difficult for them to make the push they need to secure this. And with a player down, only one left standing, Toa here, they're going to need to defend with all their might. So attack with all their might if they're going to want to have this lead. But with the Keys holding on, so the Kais holding on to the Rainmaker, that is going to be the end to that push. With the Kais taking this first game of this play all 3 final round of the preliminaries.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate DC, but overall strong performance by the Kai here. Very strong performance. Very close game in general, though. A lot of neutral fights, a lot of neutral exchanges. You know, it's just that the Kai got a really good push in, and the Deltas didn't, unfortunately. But overall, really strong performance by both teams.
Indeed. So now we'll be moving on to, I'm going to say, the most zigzaggy tower control map there is in existence. Piranha Pit Town Control.
Yeah, the tower just kind of goes all over the place here on this map. It kind of wants to be everywhere on the map, I guess. It just wants to explore.
It explores definitely. It has its mind of its own.
Yeah, it definitely does. This map's actually a really good jet map. You get to see most of the enemy base just by jet here, so I assume we're gonna see a lot of ink jets. And a lot of aggro weapons in general, because it just seems like a very fight-heavy map. Anyways, we start off tower control here with our Kais against the Deltas. On the side of the Kai, we have a heavy spot laying, a zap, a K-shot, and a 52, and on the side of the Delta, we have a C-jet, K-shot, zap, and Knot. Unfortunately, the Knot here, although he gets a trade, is going to get double teamed. Their zap has already gone on the side of the Deltas. The Deltas are going to lose someone else, and it seems here that the Kai are going to have a good push in here.
And they're heading up to the first checkpoint. This checkpoint is often one of the most hardest checkpoints to clear for Piranha Pit. I find sometimes matches you can just find this whole match just staying on that checkpoint. But the Kais do manage to clear that first checkpoint. Moving on. And there we go. Kranix from the Deltas getting that splat onto Coffee, but does get returned splat by Ray right there. Booyah Bomb coming out. They're now sitting at the second checkpoint, clearing past 36 points. 2 players down on the side of the Deltas. Kai's getting further push. 3 players down. 3 players down on the side of the Kais. So that does give the Deltas the chance they need to defend and make their own counter push. C-Rex, gets the splat on the tower. Are they able to get a second? No, are not able to get a second splat. Tenta missiles coming out from the Deltas, as well as an Inkjet, does secure that defense, and Kranix getting another splat there, and returning the tower back to the center to hopefully make a counter push of their own.
Yeah, it seems like the counter push is coming to their own, although the knot's down and they're getting missiled currently. Ooh, but that pick against the Jet is definitely going to hinder their plans. Thankfully, they get a pick off the 52, but with control over the right side of the map, it seems like the Kai are going to be able to hold this in the mid, if not actually get a push of their own again.
But Ray with a great splat, getting up higher and nearly getting splattered by a Nautilus, but getting the Booyah Bomb to get that armor to protect them for just that tiny bit longer, which is what they needed to stay alive. Great play from Ray right there.
Yeah, really great play. They're just holding all this ink down, holding all this territory. You know, just really good play in general. As the Kai once again go for their second push of the match.
Indeed, they do. And missiles coming out, dispersing the players. However, an Inkjet does come out from Aang, as well as a Stingray from Toa.
Yeah, the Kai are just shutting down the Deltas right now. Like, there's just not all they can do. There's a wipe here, and it seems like the game's gonna be over.
And that's 5-3-2-1.
Really strong performance by the Kai.
Indeed, that is game 2 going towards the Kais as well. KO as well. And now we'll be heading into the third game of this match, which, if I recall, will be, once it appears on my screen, the new Albacore Hotel on Clam Blitz.
Ooh. I've heard many opinions on this map, mostly negative, like this map mode, because there's just no clam spawns, for such a big map. But, I don't know, Clam's Albacore kind of has a soft spot in my heart, so, it's whatever.
So having a lot of movement and turf control is very essential on this map, particularly if you're something like a carbon roller or something, a splash that gets up and close. You can really get up and sudden and make a sudden flank, get a power clam in and just run off. Like, I've seen games where the only time a team has won is just by purely flanking with power clams, like just getting one in after the other, just with the other team just not spying them, seeing them at all.
Yeah, this map's huge. It's very easy to just kind of sneak past your opponent without them realizing you're getting a power clam in.
Particularly when they're two clam spawns very close to the basket on both routes into the basket. But we'll see what these teams are going to wield and how they will play in this match as we head to the third game of this play all three final round of the preliminaries. Clam Blitz on New Albacore Hotel. On the side of the Kais, we have a heavy splatling,
He said it, chat. Let's go.
A Enzap, as well as a Kansas Splattershot and a Blaster. On the side of the Deltas, we have a Splattershot Junior, Hydra, a Brush, and a Splattershot Junior.
Yep. Seems like the Kais are gonna be looking to close this set out as a 3-0 and advance, hopefully, to the top 4. I mean, after this dominant performance, I'd be surprised if they didn't. And the Deltas, they're gonna need this one game. This one game will be very helpful in determining who goes on and who doesn't. So I feel like both teams here are gonna be fighting their hardest for this last game, especially for the standings.
Indeed, they do. Every point, every game will contribute to a point on the standings, and that will determine whether or not you will move on to the top cut of this tournament. But at the moment, it's playing like very much a neutral ground right now. It does seem like the Keys do have a bit more of a turf advantage right now, but aren't able to make a push right now, as the Deltas do have a secure defense right now.
Yeah, one of the biggest adversaries to this map is that the Greats just make it really hard for short range weapons to kind of move in, especially to longer range weapons, since their movement is so limited while on them. So, in the terms of the Kais, it's just gonna be an uphill battle when pushing in. But the moment that they do, there's not a lot of room for those longer range weapons to move around in. So it'd be a lot easier to kind of close down that distance and to just push in.
Indeed, and the Hydra coming up from the Greats, as we were just talking about before. One of the harder places to push, however, they do seem to be pushing a Booyah Bomb. Tenta missiles come out in defense. Hydra gets the splat, gets 2 splats. However, the Octobrush, the only one left alive, and with the Gal taking them down, that'll be the end to that push. As the Keys start to make their own counter push, now sitting at a total of 10 clams. They have enough clams to make a push.
Ooh.
Well, used to, until they caught Toa with that fantastically placed splat bomb, taking them out.
Yeah. Really great spot bomb by Toa. Just, any opportunity that the Keys have to push up, the Delts are completely shutting down with well-timed picks, well-timed pushes, just well-timed fights. Really good on their part. It definitely does seem like that this game, with only 2 minutes left, it's going to be very much a war of attrition, where I feel like, the first team to get to score will probably be the team that's most likely to win.
It does seem that, but already further than halfway. Oh, nearly gets a power clam. Toa here with another power clam. Are they able to get it in? 2 players down on the side of the Keys. Gets splattered down. Are they able to get any power clams in with only 1 player left? The basket is broken, but are they going to get any more clams in? The Hydra right there, but then gets taken down by the NZAP. With the Splatter Shot Junior, the only one left alive on the Deltas, that will be the end of their push.
Really great push by the Deltas there. They were able to break in at the end. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get much off of it elsewhere, but hey, I mean, this game going on as much as it has, it doesn't seem like the lead will be broken, but I might have spoken a bit too soon on that one.
Well, we'll see, as they've only got 1 player left alive to defend, and only 4 clams left to attack, but are they going to be able to get any clams in? No, the Deltas successfully defend from that push from the Keys. Clams right at the moment are sitting very evenly. Photon picks up the Pity Clam right there. So it's only got 40 seconds left on the clock. It is 1 power clam could determine who will win this match. But at the moment, the Keys are sitting, like they're in the lead at the moment. As an Ink Armor and Tenta missiles come out. 15 seconds left on the clock. The Deltas are going to need to get a power clam out if they want to have a chance at this victory. And the Keys making a desperate defense. 3 power clams. Sorry, no, just 2 power clams sitting on the Keys as they start to make a push. But no, the 2 power clams come down, gets splattered, and that is a wipe!
What a great defense by the Delta there. Seems like they're going to take this game.
So that is going to be the end of this round. Sitting at a very close and small push from both teams, 20-23. The Detonating Deltas take this 3rd game, however, they will not take the set, as the Keys have already secured 2 games.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Delta aren't able to take this set here, but I mean, game's a game. It'll help them out. Who knows? It could be the tiebreaker for them for top four. So, it's very likely that with this game that we see the Delta we see the Delta later in the tournament. So, overall, great set by both teams. Both teams were very close. Congratulations
In-
to the Kai for being able to clutch it out. But both teams played really well, and it was a very fun set to watch.
Indeed, but that will be the end of what you'll be hearing from us today. Um, After us, you'll be hearing the voices of Cheetah and Quark as they head into this VC. Um, but yeah, that's all from us today. Next up will be the Top Cut Finals after a quick 5-minute break. So we'll see you all there. Salty, where can we catch you if we want to have a see you and follow you?
Oh man, I get to plug myself in.
Yes, you do.
Obviously, you can find me on Twitter at Salty64. I usually just retweet stuff on my timeline that I find funny, and I also sometimes post Splatoon stuff here and there. Although I do forget most of the time to upload my clips. Now that I
That's
remember, I have to upload another one. Anyways, I also stream on Twitch at Salty, at like Twitch Salty64. I stream on Twitch if you want to like hang out there, I guess. I'm a terrible streamer, but I do play the game and I do enjoy it. So if you just want to like zone out to some Splatoon gameplay, I'm there.
And you can find me at DGen987. Both of our handles can be seen on screen right now. But we'll catch you all very soon in the Top Cut. But for now, that's bye from both me and Salty. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
But stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Off the Dial Season 25, and we are going to be going into the first round of Top Cut. I'm Cork, and I'm joined here by Cater.
Hello, hello, that is me. We are going to be seeing the Beta Bows versus Childlike Kai. So I'm really excited to see this because I know a couple of the people on these teams. You know, Fosh I've seen around, Ferrari Kid, um, Stella, all these people that I've seen names before. So I'm really excited to watch them play today. We are going to be starting off on Splat Zones on Gobi Arena, which is it's an interesting map mode to say the least.
Yeah, I've been playing this one a lot in solo, and why does it have to come
Why would
back to
you
haunt me?
play
Like,
in solo?
I was trying to cry. I was trying to de-rust, but yeah.
All right, that's
It's
fair.
not
That's
that
fair.
bad, it's growing on me a little.
Well, yeah, that's because you're a Slayer. You know, you.
They felt like I wasn't playing, like, midline support.
Okay, that's
But
fair.
anyway. Yeah, these teams... You did mention Stella. That means we'll almost certainly see an armor weapon, probably a junior coming out of Childlike Kai. That's all I really can say though in terms of weapons and knowing
Yeah,
people. In terms of
yeah,
the map, it's a good longer range buckets are probably one of my favorite things to see here, especially like Machine or Blob and X-Washer because they can
definitely.
control so much of the stands.
Yeah, Explo is hilarious to see on here because not only does it control mid, like you said, you get so much control in stands, and that's really crucial because that is the main collecting point where teams will retreat to once they lose control of mid. I also love seeing a whole variety of weapons here. Like a lot of short range, high damage Slayer weapons tend to fight it out so much in mid. And then I have really nice memories of commentating a Dynamo on here because they would just stand up on a perch and flick onto the zone and take
See a
control of it. So,
ballpoint coming out. That's a really
ooh,
nice pick.
ballpoint
And
flings
that's
a
gonna
ink
be
brush.
yeah, a very interesting comp coming out of Beta Bows with both the ink brush and the Flingza, and then two other short range weapons. The Flingza is their only source of range, but the Flingza's gonna be in trouble if they ever try to engage the only other long range weapon on this map, which will be that ballpoint, because ballpoint outright is almost a Hydra in terms of range. That's one down already on the side of
Ooh.
Childlike Kai.
Nice moves from the ballpoint, pretty much eating that inkjet shot and then going back, regrouping. We see a couple of picks going back and forth, taking of the zone going back and forth, but it has settled in favor of Beta right now. So you see Fosh on that ink brush just painting up mid right now, and they're playing the perma brush as well. So that's going to be the armor weapon for their team. As specials come in on the side of Kai, we've got the ink storm as well as the booyah bomb, and now zone is contested. Gonna go to Kai right now as Beta is 2 down. Unfortunate. Fosh though able to get the pick, and they're the only one left alive on their team right now, struggling to survive. Unfortunately, not able to get any more picks, but they did survive for an admirably long time there.
Yeah, fights at Hoop are so interesting. So in one case, we saw,
Yeah.
at the beginning there, we saw a team get pushed really into the core, like happens a lot on this map, and that should have ended in both of them going down quickly. But when you have a weapon like a brush or a roller on Hoop, it becomes a lot harder to dislodge them than it would otherwise. And we do see that Childlike Kai has taken the lead by a pretty significant margin while we were talking. They've got one special online, but they are outnumbered. Though Beta Buzz hasn't, as I said, that Beta Buzz does recap, pushing up nicely and starting to try to force. Again, getting a crucial pick on that ball point. Though it's a 3-2 situation in the field, armor coming out for Beta Buzz. They've got a good chance to come back, but there's already two more specials online for Childlike Kai, and the flicks are going down. That's a good situation for Childlike Kai if they can avoid the sync jet, and they don't.
Ooh. Yeah, that
Crucial
octave
pick on
shot,
that
they're getting
junior.
a very
They're
nice
gonna
pick.
a booyah bomb!
Yeah, that's an entire booyah bomb to camp that jump there. The K-Gal not letting them free at all. I'd also like to point out that Kai's comp has double splash wall with both that ballpoint and that 52 gal, which is interesting.
Ballpoint has beacons, not.
No, that is the. Oh.
No, neither
Oh, it's
ballpoint
beacon
has
ballpoint.
splash ball. Yeah,
Oh,
the
my
other one
bad.
has
I
mist.
saw them standing in the splash wall earlier and immediately went, ballpoint,
Yeah, it did
splash
be
wall. You can
confusing
see
though.
how much game knowledge I have from not playing this game for like 4 months. But
It's
that's
fine.
okay.
I get
Anyways,
confused with the weapon names too.
K-Gal's
Dude,
using
I
that
thought,
splash wall
like,
really nicely to block off the alley right there. And then, of course, you've got them with that ballpoint at the ready. And with the Inkjet coming out on the side of Beta, it's down to this last about 15 or so seconds before this zone can hopefully go in favor of Kai, but they've got to hold on to it for that long.
And it's looking pretty dicey. They weren't quite able to hold because they did have one person go down before they got picked themselves. But they've got two picks. They've got more respawning. As long as they can just sort of regroup carefully and not charge straight back in, they've got a good place to be in here. And also, speaking of getting weapons mixed up, I just will mention that it's so easy to mix up the Explosher weapon the subs.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
That aside,
Which
we've
is
got
which? I
one.
don't know.
We've got two Booyah and an Inkstorm on zone,
Oh!
really nice. And nice moves coming out of that Neo Splash. Really good job avoiding the shots and out. And one for the ends up. They're going to get pushed back to the Inkjet. One going down the ball point, taken out by the Inkjets. That's going to be crucial for Beta Bows to push back in because that range won't be there to interrupt them. But the bomb rush is coming out. That's going to hold the zone. One down on both sides of that kick out. And the junior. That's a zap. No, that's an octo shot. That looked like a junior for a second. Silver getting an excellent pick right there. And now 3-4 situation on the field. Silver trying to camp that ledge, but they're going to be careful because if they get crossfired, it's going to be very bad. Though the dynamo, or not the flingset and the brush on the side of Beta Bows are going to be very good for ledges as too. We see Beta Bows getting painfully close to taking the lead and getting a pick as well. This is going to be very close because we do see the 3 specials coming out, and it's really unclear who's actually going to be the hold zone here. We just don't know. And the one goes down, but the ball point, and now they're painting. They have to paint. They have to paint. They have to paint, and they count. They do trail the zone. And the brush is the last one left, and the brush is not going to go down, but they're not going to hold the zone either, and they're going to be forced to run away as Childlike Kai holds that the last seconds, keeping themselves from losing the lead and potentially being knocked out.
I mean, Beta just 2 points away from that lead, so close they can practically taste it, but unfortunately they're just not able to block one. Beautiful pick using that long range mode. That's what you love to see out of a Splatling there. That pick on the zone that the ballpoint got was absolutely crucial, and now you can say they're absolutely feeling it. Going down with a trade, with a flings it to the face, that is amazing. And with that, we've got the shot jumping down zone, doing their best, but just not enough. Yeah, the splash, getting that last pick, and that is going to be the game. Very impressive.
Yes, that was an incredibly good last second armor because that's what let that Neo Splash just come down firing, and between them and the 2 others, that last second push was shut down. If anything, the jump was a good distraction.
Yeah,
and we
very
see
impressive.
a lot of specials coming out of both teams. Is that 9 missiles, 8 armors on the side of Beta Bows? I think I saw 7 inkjets or something too. Maybe if it was 5. But either way, specials. Lots of them. And I really appreciate how they were both teams will put out. Made things a lot more interesting than if because they didn't have like a bunch of long range weapons to defend, but especially the side of Beta Bows, so they just had to pump out special after special after special to play defense. And now we're going to be seeing Rainmaker Snapper.
Rainmaker on Snapper. It's so common, except for counter.
You say this with every Snapper map.
Well, no, tower and zones are not played that much. Tower because water, and zones because weird tiny little zone in the middle of the map. But Rainmaker and Clams are everywhere, excluding counter picks, I guess. But I don't know why. I just feel like it's one of those omnipresent maps, and I'm not entirely sure why.
Probably just because it forces a level of teamwork you don't necessarily get otherwise, because of how hard it is to push in any situation, especially in Clams. So it really tests how well a team can coordinate in getting to those high-scoring pushes because of how easy it can be defended, and also tests the defending team. That's more so in Clams. In Rainmaker, it really tests the defending team because it's so easy, especially through that central route. If you're like one person down, it's so easy to get bulldozed if you aren't playing exceptionally well.
Definitely, and the routes are decently far apart too. If you're guarding a wrong route and the team just decide to fake you out and go for a different one, you could very well be just chasing the Rainmaker, and that means that you're in really big trouble. And like you said, if you go one person down, that's actually a huge amount of defense loss on any map, but on this map in particular is where it's really, really felt.
Yeah, there's no pain like your opponent's pushing up central, you're 2 down, and you've got a T-Tech, and you're just throwing bombs, hoping you hit the Rainmaker because you don't have your special. I'm totally not saying this from experience at all, but yeah, being a Slayer and trying to defend this map is pain. So it's also very difficult to flank the Rainmaker or anything.
Yeah. This is why I just spam Stingray on this map.
Typical CJ, man. We see that ballpoint coming back out. Good for defense. So we've seen Stella switch to that stab, having a little more range, I don't think there's too much of a terribly big... Stella's on K-Shot and someone else has pushed this out. Those missiles are really nice here because they don't have a missiles and Booyah in place of that Stingray, so they still be able to keep that long-range pressure needed to stop pushes. However, Foch does have a Stingray, and they also have that Dynamo that flings that for missile spam. This is going to be a war of special spam to some extent.
Yeah, Foch already on Stingray duty.
But the K-Gal is going to take 2 out, and that's going to make it a 3-2 situation in the favor of Childlike Key.
K-Gal getting that delayed triple there, and they're already so deep into enemy territory. They've got that Booyah Bomb, trying to find the best place. Very nice picks out of them. Just
They
this
find another.
kill streak. This kill streak is incredible right now. This Rainmaker unfortunately gonna get taken out, and that's 3 down with the Zap, the only one remaining. But that's already all the way to 33. And what was that? Like that was a kill streak of about 5, 6 or somewhere
5 or 6,
around that.
I think.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Their KA stands at 5, so that was a 5
Yeah.
kill streak.
Very
Really
impressive.
impressive play. Yeah, that was fun. I was talking about those missile and ray spamming weapons, and Vosh is just like, the K-Gal's just like, yeah, you can't spam special if you're dead.
That's true. That's true.
Which is a pretty effective. You want to keep the enemy siege jet down as much as you can if you want to push in any Rainmaker situation where you have to fight a siege jet, just because there's always going to be a ray, and if there's always a ray, you can't push. I was saying that Team A, or not Team B,
full
Beta
wipe.
Bose did. Oh yeah, there's a full wipe, and
Full wipe on
Beta
Kai,
Bose
I
is going to
believe.
push up.
Yeah, this
and
is
have
their
their
chance.
chance.
They need to push right now, and they are certainly taking advantage of it. 1 down on both sides right now, though that Rainmaker is a little bit stuck right here. Their teammates are trying to help them out though, but you've still got that pesky KO that they've got to take care of. Looks like they're just inching towards it, but they're only at 60 right about now. Unfortunately, they have to get up that little block or go the other way in order to try and tie the score out. But unfortunately, they get a little bit separated from their teammates, and that's all it takes for the shot to just jump in and say, you know what, no more for you. And now we've got a full wipe on the side of Beta.
Yeah, I'd like to note that Beta Bose did have a bomb rush ready for most of that. They could have easily cleared Plat. I just think the splash. I don't know who was the Rainmaker. It might have been the splash. They might have just not been able to get in the position to use that bomb rush, which really hurt them, so they weren't able to build any other specials in time. And that just allowed Childlike Kai to stall them out for that long until they got their own specials and then pretty quickly wipe Beta Bose. And now we see a pop for fight in the middle of that. Beta Bose is looking like they're going to win, though the missiles are coming out for Childlike Kai. 4-4 situation in the field, multiple specials ready. We've got a neutral mid situation just about right now. So both teams are going to be looking to make a move, so Childlike Kai is probably going to hang back a bit, because they don't have to play defense, they don't have to commit, and Childlike Kai will get the first pick, and that means Beta Bose can't move just yet, so they did get a pick of their own. Another one of Childlike Kai going down, but the ballpoint takes out the Zap at close quarters. I like nice close range ballpoint play there, right there.
Absolutely love to see that. Just because ballpoint's shot velocity is so high, you can just do things like that. Similar to Nautilus. Oh, the Zap tries to go for something there, but the Flinkza says not today. Unfortunately, their ink tank just runs out as they're about to take out that 52, who is now gunning for the siege. Absolutely. Just the aggression that they've been showing this whole match is phenomenal. And you see they're forcing that 2v1 to make that into a trade instead of a loss. Meanwhile, their teammates picked up the Rainmaker and they are going for it. They are the only other one alive, though. You can see that ballpoint has the Rainmaker with the shot just respawning. However, somehow they're able to still clear some ground. We've got the Booyah ready, but unfortunately before that comes out, the Rainmaker is killed. That's still going to get a pick with the Booyah before the K-Gal goes down, though. And we've got 3 down on, I believe that's the side of Kai. So Beta's got to take this opportunity and run quite literally with that Rainmaker flash, trying to build up another Stingray as quickly as possible while their teammates pick that up and get ready for another push.
Yes, no, this is, if anything, this is their chance. They've got the pick. They don't have specials just yet, but they'll get them soon. So that K-Gal comes right under, but the roller taking them out last second after a nice burst bomb placement by Fosh. That's gonna be 3 down. It was close, but they just couldn't get specials. Like, if they had a ray or a missile, things could have been very different. Now they do have that ray, but they're gonna have to use it defensively to get the Rainmaker down as fast as they can. But the Rainmaker's just saying, I'm gonna get as far away from you as possible. This is probably one of the worst places for the Rainmaker to be, besides like way off in the corner. For Beta Buzz, they want to push back. There's only about 15 seconds left in the match. Beta Buzz is 1 down. Childlike Kai has a special and armor ready. They've well set up for defense, and now it looks like they're just going to tease that Rainmaker out and hide a corner. Though I would have swum up the pedestal if I had them. They're actually in trouble, though. Yep, and a nice job holding that Rainmaker, not quite getting rushed down by that splash. That's going to be the set up 2-0 for Childlike Kai.
Yeah, we saw a little bit more of a dominant performance by Kai in that match. They knew what they set out to do, and they were just pretty much preventing Beta from doing anything with the Rainmaker once they picked that up. 12 KA being the top on both teams, so we actually saw a decent amount of KA coming out of both teams. It's really just how those kills are placed, as well as specials. I want to talk about that a little bit. We saw a lot of specials from both teams on that first game, but really I felt like we didn't see many at all, or many well placed from Beta in this game that we just saw. Like, all the Stingrays were very, very defensive and very isolated, and the rest of the team wasn't able to capitalize on the chip damage that Ray afforded.
Yeah, I think Childlike did a good job of pressuring when beta bows whenever they were pushing, which allowed them to keep beta bows from having time to really charge up the specials and have the same volume of specials we saw last match. Also, it being Rainmaker compared to zones, there isn't quite as much of an incentive to special spam because if you throw, because there's not like you don't spam rain or bomb rush really, or most specials because you can't just keep throwing them in the zone. You have to actually be a little more careful about how you use your specials in a mode like Rainmaker because the objective is constantly moving and there isn't just one big zone for you to paint.
Yeah, it is really interesting how special use differs. I did more just mean like we didn't see a lot of specials at crucial times for them. I mean, you kept pointing out that during pushes they either didn't have specials, or their specials were a little bit mistimed, or they just couldn't quite get in the right place to pop the specials. Whatever was happening, we saw a lot more special capitalization from Kai.
They did much better. I don't think they used too many specials of their own either, but they did a really good job actually winning their fights and using those specials to effect. Now we're going to tower control Mako Mart, which and that we do see the ballpoint switching off onto that remix, and we've got the all frontline comp returning, with perhaps the exception of that Nautilus. So Silver's in spawn and they're not moving. This there they go. Okay, that was almost bad. I didn't want to see them AFK or DC. That would have been unfortunate.
I did not either. That's always really,
And
really
to make up
unfortunate
for
when
that, they're
happens.
gonna get a pick on stream. They're like, "Yeah, you guys thought I was about to DC," as if.
It's the reverse psychology going on here, but they're already going in deep into these fights that they are picking. Unfortunately, even with that armor, they're just not able to get past that zap, and with that, the rest of their team is going to go 3 down, attempting to push that checkpoint. And look at all of the green on this map right now. The last member has been ferreted out, and now Kai is really just asserting all of their dominance over this territory right now. They've got so much turf control and these specials at the ready too. Their gal's gonna go down, but that's not stopping the remix from popping their Booyah Bomb, and that checkpoint is going to fall. We've got team members of Beta dropping, but they're dropping into Kai's territory, and they are 2 down now. We have an Inkjet ready. That shot's gonna pop the Inkjet. Try and find something, anything with it. They do get a pick. That's gonna be 3 down, but right now that was just a really nice push from Kai, even if it didn't get too far.
Yeah, I'd like to comment a little bit on the comps. I'm interested that Frosh is going back to that Frosh is going back to that brush instead of sticking the Stingray, because Stingray can be so useful in tower control. So the hammer is a really nice pick on a map like Mako Mart because of the narrow areas. And I really like the remix instead of the ballpoint, because that double booyah is going to be really good at keeping beta bows off tower, because there's going to be a booyah on tower more often than not when they're trying to push.
Oh yeah,
As we see here.
Booyah is either move or die. You can choose your path. And so having that double Booyah comp, the K-Gal being able to just pump out as many Booyahs as possible, and Remix also being a tower rider in itself, can use the Booyah to save itself, as we saw in the first push. Right now, that Flingza is going to hop in and say, absolutely not, I'm going to take you out before you can do anything. And they're doing their best, but they're going to get taken out by the Splatling that they had attempted to vertical flick. The Splatling's going to go in for another pick as well, and going to hop right onto that tower. Honestly, this is one of my favorite map modes to play Remix on, and I'm so glad that this player has recognized it as well, because you have, like, when you're along the tower path, there's just so many places you can reach with that Splatling, and with that, they're getting yet another pick with that Booyah Bomb, and then backing up smartly to heal, recover, and you can already see they're building up their charge for another.
This is like one of the problems that we're seeing beta bows have, is they don't have anything to contest that remix. If they didn't see it yet, they might have, but with the Flingza being their longest range weapon, the Flingza can't really reliably contest them. They have to rely on getting close to that remix, and we're seeing that's harder to do than not, because the frontline members of Childlike Kai are doing a very good job at keeping the frontline members of Beta Bows back. So as I said, that Beta Bows finally has an opening. It's a 2-1 situation. They've got to find that shot, though, or they're going to be risking. And they are looking like they will take the lead just by a little bit. The shot's going to come out. The Frosh getting a nice pick, jumping off the ledge at the right moment. They've got the hammer coming out. And they get
Ooh,
the
the
pick
hammer
with the hammer
snipe.
throw. And they're going to move up. And I was challenging the remix. That's what they're about to try to do. They're only forced in the back, though. They don't attempt to push any farther because they would die. So they are going to get to the second. They've broken that first checkpoint, and they're getting to work on the second one. It doesn't look like they'll be able to break the second point just yet, but they will have a substantial lead.
Yeah, 39 is quite a nice place to be. We've got a minute and 17 seconds left right now, and both teams are coming back into mid, one down on each side right now. So it's a little bit more of an even playing ground. We've got specials coming out, though. One booyah coming out, a stamp coming out. That stamp, though, in trouble. They're gonna get canceled, unfortunately. And with the Splatling reigns supreme yet again. Still has that booyah bomb at the ready, gonna use it as we head into the last minute of this match. They get
And they don't get any
shredded,
points,
though.
and they're going to be 2 down with that shot very exposed to the
Ooh,
popping their
3
missiles, not
down.
knowing the flings is behind them. Yeah, 3 down. And then the members of Beta Bows are going to push up, and they're saying, yeah, this isn't over yet. We're not going to go 3 or 3 in this semifinals match. We're gonna give the people a show. They're gonna have to reverse sweep as soon as. But we got the brush sharking, and now we're gonna see one of the strengths of the Beta Bows. They can camp all the ledges that Childlike Kai just can't. And the hammer's gonna come out again, going for one.
Ooh,
Gets one. Gets on a
nice.
remix, which would be crucial, because that way the range that was such an impediment to them isn't gonna be there. 3-2 situation in the favor of Beta Bows. The shot's gonna get called out by that. I think that ends up. The inkjet's coming out. There is a booyah bomb ready, but it's just too little, too late, most likely. And Beta Bows just has to stay in tower. But they go down. They go 2 down. They go 3 down. They just, and the flash is gonna come out of nowhere. Going for one, going for another. Getting 2 more, and they're gonna get the tower.
Single-handedly preventing what could have been a disastrous overtime for Beta, and that is going to be the game. The set's now 1-2. I mean, that I almost thought that was going to go into overtime, and it did. But then that brush came down there, got a couple of picks, and look at all of the picks they have on this scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was proven wrong by saying this to the Shay and CJ. The brush is just so devastating on this
They
map.
heard you. Absolutely,
Yeah,
all of the
They
ledges.
were like
It's
this
similar to Slosh
commentator.
Pit.
Yeah, it is. As someone who's played, I mean, I don't play brush anymore. I kind of got tired of it. But as someone who's played both brush and trial on this map, yeah, the way the map is shaped is so good for just ambushing people. And now we're gonna be moving on to Reef Clans, which is
Oh boy.
the quintessential clan map.
Is
if
it?
anything.
What makes you say that?
I mean, there's different routes to push in. There's a sneaky place you have to watch out for, as with a lot of clan maps, but it's not like completely undefendable either. And there's a lot of room to work in the map and how you push and how you build your specials. That's how I
true.
feel about it. And it's
Yeah,
just
I
a very
always-
simple map overall. There's no weird moving things. It's just the bridge, the low
Yeah.
ground, the mid ground, the high ground, the basket. And the most interesting parts being the trees and cars.
Definitely. I mean, I always say that the Reef isn't the promotional front of Splatoon 2 for no reason. And like you said, the way that this map is balanced but simple, and also a good map liked by a lot of people. It's similar to Mako in the sense that it's got something for everyone, but I feel that this one's just a tad more balanced because Mako, as we saw, can really heavily favor those weapons that can take advantage of ledges. And when we're here, there's a lot of low, even ground as well for weapons that can excel in that kind of combat to take place. We've got perches for the anchors, and of course, like you said, those little sneaky parts for anyone that would like to attempt a stealth attack on the basket. So there's really something for everyone when it comes to the Reef.
Though, and you're saying there's also something for these sneaky brushes of the world. There's those ledges, but the ledges that can be used but could also be called out if someone's watched a little further back from them. And of course, there's the fun, you more see it in zones, the jump off the bridge on my opponents with the splashdown strategy, which is probably one of which isn't really so much in Clan Blitz, but there's definitely a route for the short range weapons. And we see, speaking of slopes, Try is going to be very nice here. We see Tetra is coming out in place of that shot and in place of the Octa shot, which is a really nice pick, I think, for them pushing it. And I did just say something about splashdowning off bridge.
Well, we might just see that with the Tetras here. They can definitely do that. We've got picks going down very, very quickly. This Splatling is here
No.
to take the bridge, but they go in very, very far. They just might not have noticed the multiple people or something like that. And
I think they panicked
unfortunately,
because of the flings us. They're
yeah,
like,
I
I
think
need to move
that's
up.
definitely fair. And now we've got this Flingza here, a beautiful ledge kill, and they've got so many clams. Their teammates are passing them, and so they are going to be able to break the barrier. And with only the Splatling up on the opposing team, they're going to be able to take that down all the way to fix almost immediately, and still going.
Yeah, really nice way to push. Getting some more picks too.
Oh, there's a splashing in the corner of the screen as
It's
well
just,
as that
and we
ink,
see,
I
I think
believe.
that's 5 kills off that Julius already. That's
Wow.
really
Yeah,
good
that is
work.
5.
And shout out to Flingset as well. An exceptional, and another
Wow.
coming out the left, and they
Oh,
get the KO.
okay, that's a
Like,
KO.
while I was trying to read numbers, they get the KO. So we will be
That's-
seeing game 5 here,
That
with the
was
potential for an
incredible.
absolutely brutal reverse sweep. I think it is likely that Beta Bills will get the reverse because
Ah.
they've got the momentum, and I'm sure mentally, Childlike Kai is. I mean, this is the kind of time where if you're gonna get angry at the game, you're gonna get angry at the game right now. And as I can say from experience, and Blackbelly escape back zones, Beta Bow's comp is gonna go wild here.
Absolutely. I mean, that brush is gonna have a field day, and I would be surprised if that try got swapped off on either team. Maybe we'll see a try on both sides. Who knows? That anchor is gonna have a time, I will say, as someone who's tried everything on Blackbelly zones and just does not like this map.
Blackbelly zones is a good map for tournaments in terms of entertainment value because of how much it switches back and forth and how
Yeah,
crazy it
of
can get.
course. Entertainment,
As
not
a
for
player, but we're the ones who
No,
are here to be
terrible.
entertained, I suppose.
Absolutely
So
bad.
I'm sure Beta Bows is pretty happy. They can keep running the same comp, the armor, weapon,
Oh, definitely.
whatever Silver wants to go with, and then that brush roller combo. Their only issue is though, if that either they're gonna play Remix or Ballpoint, I'm not sure which, gets set up on that center pillar, they're gonna have a fun time. They will, because they won't be able to get back in. We'll see the same problems they had with range earlier. It's really just gonna come down to, can Childlike Kai deal with all the sharking and keep control of the map to allow their backline to get into position and to establish the kind of lockout that might not be so easy for Beta Bows. Though Beta Bows just have their own way of doing a lockout without all that range, which is just hiding under all the ledges and using their roller and brush to turn those ledges into a minefield.
I feel like they'll practically be playing King of the Hill here with trying to displace that anchor from the top, because, like you said, that's just such a crucial spot for both teams. You have that, you can assert so much control over mid, either with subs or fall off, or with just pure range like the Splatling can. So it'll be really interesting how they decide to play around that.
Also, someone in chat is saying triple try. So
Triple try.
try, as you could say. And the
Oh,
Explo comes out.
I'm very
Probably
excited to see this
and
double
we see a double
bucket.
bucket. I guess they
Oh.
decided we've got that hero slash into the missiles, and then the try, and then that. I think the Tetris are gonna be very effective here because it's also a good place to just jump into the zone with splashdown. But that Explo, I wasn't expecting that. That's going to be absolutely brutal. Though it is going down, the amount of area it can control, the amount of damage it can do is extremely large. And now we see Stella getting a good pick here, going to paint together zone. But the bucket coming from behind, I don't think they quite saw the call out in time. They just focused on trying to get the zone back instead. Fosh is gonna go up, though they're gonna be called out on multiple members and get fall offs. I think yes, the Gal falls though, getting another pick as well. This is going to be a good opening for the side of Childlike Kai. They just need to get through a few more members, and they do. And they will almost certainly recap here with that Booyah Bomb coming out. They've got 2 more specials at the ready to get this lockout established as well.
Yeah, I'm
And another
super
pick coming
excited.
out.
I'm like you said, I'm so excited to see that Explosion in action. Fortunately, they've been taken out again. I mean, they do have KA behind them, so they've definitely been doing things. We just haven't been able to see too much from the side of the spec cam. Meanwhile, we've got their team taking the lead, and the zones are under such just heavy contesting right now with all of these battles going on. Splashdowns, picks. This Slosher has to the Excel has to back up just a little bit. They did get that pick though, and as you can see, they've almost got that baller just in case they need a second life, which that's honestly pretty much almost entirely what Excel
they
is.
get?
Unfortunately, they get shot down by the Tetras right before they get that. And
The
that is
Tetras
a lot
just
of
finished
main
off
power.
themselves.
I think those are I think those are 33.3 Tetras. I saw a lot of main power up on that kit.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting choice because you usually see Tetras. It's like
QR,
either you're
yeah.
spamming QR or you're spamming MPU. There is no in between, or you're weird. I used to run
Yeah,
Haunt
that's
on. I mean, Haunt's also bad. We see the rain coming
fair.
out. This is looking like it could be a lead for the beta buzz. Though another bucket
Ooh.
comes out and it's not even a bucket. This is looking to be very close. The Booyah Bomb coming out though, that's gonna be putting so much pressure on. The gal with the I think that was a bit lag there, or it went over. I couldn't really see, but that wall was not as much of a wall as it should have been.
The wall just kind of quit. Said, you know, I don't think I'll be protecting you today. But meanwhile, we've got the slosher on top, which is such a good place for any slosher to be on this map. You mean you can fall off on the zones, and that's exactly what is so good for that. And we've got Beta in the lead now, able to take that. You can see that this hero slosher here is tracking the person that's attempting to go behind the zone. They know that somebody's gonna be coming from that direction. They've likely already called it out to their teammates by now.
And they
But the
almost get hit
missiles.
by the missiles, like
Oh,
flying
yeah, almost.
and the
But
try's gonna
instead they
get
get
picked
followed by
though.
that try. Yeah, that try is really annoying. Try is annoying on this map in general, which is why, I mean, both teams have decided to bring it out here.
Yeah, the Tetris will get picked by a
Ooh,
brilliant
Expo
shot
pick.
for the Expla. And now this is the lockout situation that Childlike Kai can't establish.
Yeah,
The
that
Explo looking
Explo
for
on
pick, not
top of
gonna
the
find it, they're
tower.
there.
Ooh,
The
that bomb.
unfortunate bomb pick and their
Oh.
gal did go down. They just weren't careful enough in pushing up, it seems. They've got the baller. They're not gonna quite
Oh
bomb
my
it.
goodness, this Explo, everything is getting thrown at them. The missiles, the slosher. But thankfully they had that baller on them so they could get out alive. Oh man, the members of Beta must really want that Explo dead. And for good reason.
Yeah. And
Oh my
that's gonna be
god,
two
2
down
more
on both
assists.
sides. The rain is gonna be an issue. That try is almost certainly waiting for the Explo to try to move up.
Haha,
Or
try
Childlike
to
Kai
move
is
up. Ha
yes, tripods are.
ha.
I forgot to make many puns today. Oh no.
Oh, that's
But
okay.
anyway,
There's a pun anyways. And oh my goodness, the Explo is
no,
continuing
that
to
was
get...
like a 90 too.
Yeah,
Really nice pick.
absolutely
But now
genius
they've got to get
placement
the
here.
lockout and they've got to move in groups because we see that another member went down. The flanking
Oh,
Tetras.
there's a flang.
They keep taking 1v1s and it's not working out.
Yeah, as somebody who's tried to 1v1 Tetras on multiple occasions, it really just doesn't work. And with that, that's going to be a successful backcat for Beta right now. So as we head into the last minute of this match, the zones are very heavily under control, and we're almost seeing a reverse of the scores that we saw in the Rainmaker match. But with that, we've got 3 down on the side of Betas, and so Kai is going to take this opportunity, go in very deep. You can see the 52 here using this wall so that they don't get fall off, and they've almost got their Booyah Bomb as well. Likely going to use that to take out as many members of Beta as they can. We are so close to the lead right now. Only just a few points left, but with that Ink Storm coming out, it's going to be so much harder. Yeah, they've lost control of the zone. We are so close right now. 3v4 situation.
The armor's
and
coming out. They've got special advantage. They
missiles, the armor, the baller,
That's two
everything.
down. That's two down. They
That
see a
is a
paint.
crucial kit.
Paint. I'm
Crucial
like
pick, 3
screaming
paint.
paint even though I'm not playing. And
Goodness,
that's
yeah.
gonna be the
And
game
hey, and that's
for
the game
Childlike
in the
Key. 5,
the last 4 seconds. We are waiting.
2, and
Overtime
then
is.
the front lines will hold it down. That's gonna be Childlike Kai going into grand finals.
Oh man, that was an amazing fight. Great comeback at the end as well. You love to see matches like that where it just all comes down to the last minute of the match. That Explo, a genius pick, and we saw so many good shots from them too. They're finishing off this match.
From the Expo 18,
Yeah, two
matching a
18
gal.
KAs from both.
I think a lot of those
gal.
were assists though, as we saw in those
Well, I
cams.
mean, I
But
think if
still, it
they're
was
doing
still
assists, they're really
amazing.
I think if they're getting assists, it's like Junior. They're really doing their job, you know, because Explo is really strong at applying chip damage as well, because you know those ground shots, so much ink coverage, and so getting assists is really helpful to their teammates. So I'm very happy to see that going down. But like you said, it's going to be Kai moving into the finals. That was an amazing set. And speaking of grand finals, we're going to be taking a short break of just a couple of minutes before we'll return with grand finals. Remember that the prize for this is an amazing Sendu.Inc badge as well as a Month of Nitro Classic. So these teams are fighting out for some very cool prizes. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Grand Finals of It's Dangerous to Go Alone. I am Kater, and I'm joined here today by Quark.
Yes, and I almost came in a new woo voice because our streamer just kind of hit us off in ooh.
Oh, you want to go into new voice? Should I redo the intro? Hello, everyone, and welcome to It's Dangerous to Go Alone Grand Finals. I'm Kater, and I'm joined here today by Quark. I'm so sorry.
Second time we've done this. We did this during glowing too.
I deeply apologize, but
That was
anyway,
unlimited woomy yeah, or whatever.
it was, yeah,
One
that was
time we streamed
hilarious.
them. Anyway, we are going to be
anyways.
seeing Childlike Kai versus Enlightened Epsilon. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I said those all right, otherwise Rose is gonna cry.
Yeah, well, we just saw Kai beat Beta in an amazing set 3-2, which we saw a lot going on in that set, so hopefully they can bring that momentum to grand finals. I'm very, very excited to see if they continue to use the comp that they were using beforehand. We're going to be starting off on Piranha Pit Rainmaker, because doesn't everyone love Piranha Pit Rainmaker?
I love Piranha Pit Rainmaker.
I do
and
too,
one of the
actually.
members,
It's a great map mode.
and I remember seeing one of the members of Cheerful Kai talking. They also love Piranha Pit Rainmaker. So we've got
Oh,
some
good for them.
any Piranha Pit enjoyers in the chat. And speaking of Piranha Pit, here we go. That's a Sea Jet. It's Pit. Of course there's a Sea Jet.
Yeah, you would expect there not to be a CJ. Of course there's a CJ. We're on Pit Rainmaker. This map is a line. It's as straight as I am not. But anyways.
Me neither. I've been making 2 news puns and I'll make another one. Though, to be fair, this map is a bit wide though, so maybe... But yes, it's definitely straight. But no one uses the sides, so it's basically a straight line.
Yeah, nobody uses
And
the
we see a
sides.
nice pick on that ballpoint. That's 2 going down already with United Epsilon being the first to have the initiative. The Ray's coming out, getting an assist with the Ray, looking for that. They won't get very far because there's still a bunch of members up and the Ray just couldn't find any of the right picks. But they will pick it up yet again. But the crossfire is going to be unrelenting, and that jump's going to get camped. It's looking like we're going to see it strongly swing back in the favor of Childlike Kai. Though they do lose one member, they got to move before that CJ gets that Stingray, or it's going to be all over.
Yeah, they are
And
certainly
they
moving.
do.
Definitely, they take the lead as well. They are moving and they are schmoving all the way to 51 before they lose the lead and go 2 down, which is not too bad considering it's a good push as well as taking the lead. Not too bad of an investment. We've got Epsilon just picking up the Rainmaker yet again. That Ray is coming out as well as multiple members. A member of Kai goes down, another member of Kai goes down, but not without trading out for that shot. So now we still have both Splatlings in the game, though that not trying to pop their inkjet, but unfortunately, this Rainmaker is taking the roundabout way, but unfortunately they're going to be immediately confronted and forced to not take the roundabout way. They are indecisive and unfortunately getting taken out around 58 by that Kenzagal who's going to pop that Booyah Bop. But we've just got struggles over lead right now.
Yeah, I don't think they were... It's hard to tell whether they were just trying to dodge and confused, or whether they're intentionally trying to fake out their opponents. Though it almost did work. They nearly got the lead with their opponents suddenly having to change direction, but the bullets caught up to them. They can't outswing the bullets. And the Kingo getting a critical pick to the CJ, getting another on the zap. Let's go. Things wide open. They just need to clear the way, keep the knot, and the knot's backed up. The wall's right there. The knot's not going to be able to take the Rainmaker out until they get all the way to 24. Yes. No, why do I keep making so many? I mean, Nautilus tries to not try
to take out the Rainmaker.
I'm not able to not make any puns unless I try.
Oh my god. Alright. Well, with that, we are now at 24 to 58, and this Nautilus is stuck up by the Rainmaker. Finally, though, with all of those missiles, they're hopefully gonna try. They're trying. There's actually no Tri-Sloshers in this match, though. But they're trying to get more control in mid, get a little bit more presence, get more ink down before they can start this push. You can see the Ray coming out. There's a pick, not getting a pick as well. This is great for them. They have that inkjet at the ready as well, so they're going to continue to push this forward. But we've got fire on the Rainmaker. They are using the path, and the inkjet is inking a path, though, taking the lead all the way to 16, jumping very nicely, almost halfway up that conveyor, so they didn't, and I mean, that even though it was a little bit farther away, the upwards movement of that conveyor assisted them greatly, and so now we are 16 to 24.
Yeah, the Rainmaker's moving, schmoving, and zooming. as the kid. I was what? That's something I think. Anyway, moving on. The Rainmaker is going to be reset to mid, and there's going to be a 2-down situation for not beta. Enlightened Epsilon with Childlike Kai having the chance to move up. Why does Kai look like an X? I'm really confused now. Greek letters are cool.
Greek letters are cool, but unfortunately, after some pronunciation issues, the staff team has ruled we never do them again.
Or rather, Rose has. I don't think DJM said anything about it.
True.
So half the
Okay.
head TOs are like, no, the other half are... Wait, and today I learned something. The Rainmaker stays still when on a conveyor. The conveyor
It
moves.
does. It's very
I
interesting.
never actually knew that. I get
Well-
commentator learns how game works while commentating game.
The more you know, and the more that Zap knows to not hang on a wall right when you're in the middle of a Booyah Bomb. But we've got 35 seconds left, and they are making a break for it. My goodness, the K-Gal all the way up here, inking a path, doing exactly what they do. That Rainmaker, though, taking out the K-Gal.
They're gonna move.
The K-Gal not able to get the pick, but they are still going. They get the pop. That's 3 down, and now they're they take the
They've
they
got a
take the
Booyah
lead.
too.
The
Yeah, they got the
so,
lead. They
so
got down
close.
to
The
11.
K-Gal's somehow still here. They're
King
trying to
Ball
pick up
is
the
swing.
Rainmaker. They pick it up.
They nearly get the KO.
The 3, almost a KO, but we've got 10 seconds left, and it's going to take a miracle for the other team to come back from this. It looks like the other members are going to back off just a little bit, so we will be seeing overtime, but this overtime is gonna be so difficult because you have to go all the way across the entire map, and Piranha, although it is straight, it's quite a long map.
Yes, and as long as Childlike Kai doesn't feed, they've got the pick. They'll be fine. They got the pick. They got the missiles coming out. The pressure of the Rainmaker. Their zap does go down, but the Rainmaker, I can't see the timer from here, but they probably don't have that long. They've got another gun. Let's shoot down for Childlike Kai. They need to back. They need to back fast, or just bomb rush the Rainmaker. That works too.
It definitely works, and with that, that is our first game. Very, very close as well, as is the good nature of Rainmaker. So if I really do hope our entire set is like this. I'd love to see another game 5.
Yes. Really nice performance out of both teams. Crazy, just back and forth action. We saw that a whole match.
Really similar
And-
KAs from both teams as well. Interesting.
Yeah, it was the definition of even match, which really speaks to how well the TOs did balancing the teams, because the whole point of that was to balance the teams in terms of relative skill levels, and they did a really good job doing that, since we're seeing
Definitely.
such a close fight.
Definitely, we saw really good close matches in our previous set as well. I mean, just you've got the balance of both teams having different momentums, different mentalities as well. So again, shout out to our staff team for balancing the teams so well. We're moving on
Yes.
to our second match on Sturgeon Shipyard Tower Control, which this one ain't so bad. This one's quite nice actually.
It's nice, but it's also painful because of how hard it is to defend.
You sound
Because
very unsure
it's
of
so
your
close
it's nice
quarters,
statement.
and you can easily snowball it, but it's also so difficult to defend because of how fast the opponents can snowball it.
It's
This is a
either-
match where
yeah.
Beta Bows might, well, not Beta. I am getting teams mixed up. I'm sure Kai is gonna Kai is gonna stay about what they've been running, though they might switch back to that remix. And I think running that double Booyah combo will be very strong here, especially because they can control so much while they're trying to snowball the tower in terms of like the area where their opponents can defend from, and just it's a really good defensive tool, just being able to constantly Booyah the tower. I haven't seen too much out of Epsilon yet, but I think they will run a pretty similar comp, and here we go.
Yeah, here we go indeed. We've got that remix coming back, so we'll hopefully get to see more action from that. We've got a K-Bro coming out on the side of Epsilon, so I'm excited to see how that plays out. And of course, Epsilon's keeping that Not 79 as well. Very, very excited to see how all of these weapon choices play out. Hopefully that K-Pro is going to be able to get a lot done, especially with that Booyah Bomb now on their side.
And the Knot is going to go down. Though in terms of specials, I think Childlike Kai is going to have an advantage because they've got... The K-Pro gets Booyah pretty slowly, especially compared to that K-Gal. And they've got a... Other than that, the comps are actually half the same. They both have... both have N-Zaps and both have A-Shots. It's just a Booyah and a Knot. It's a different Spotling and a different Booyah weapon. That's the only difference in this comp. Which,
Interesting.
I mean, all the weapons work, but... I would have liked to see a little more variety, a little more crazy weapons come out, but sometimes you just gotta go with what works. And those missiles will almost work pretty well.
They say that great minds think alike, right? And those missiles, like you said, worked. They almost fell off the map, but that push is gonna go all the way down
Speaking
to
of falling
31.
off things, they just got fall off.
Well, I suppose I've predicted the future. I think that's very cool and good of me. And this push is not
Wait,
completely
predicted me
dead yet.
making a pun or predicted them getting fall off?
I'm gonna apply that to Seacan's double that they just got right now and not comment on either thing that has just happened. That was a slick double though, off of that K Pro, and with that the tower's gonna be resetting back to mid.
Yeah, it doesn't really take much to predict me making puns. Because, well, that's basically my brand of the commentators at this point. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but anyway, the match. Wolf is
mean-
running from some bullets, and is eventually chased down by that Enzap with its speedy shot velocity, and Childlike Kai will continue to push up. They're gonna get under 30 now. They looking to break the second checkpoint. They've got the Booyah, they've got the armor, and the missiles, and the other Booyah. Yeah, they just popped everything. And they
Well,
only got
that's
one
nice
pick out of it, but they got
coordination for
so
you.
much area control. And that's gonna be
That's-
5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2.
Two. Almost, but that's a full wipe. That's a full wipe, and that too goes all the way to 0 as we see a KO. That was a dominant game. Not necessarily fastest KO I've ever seen, but look at the difference in inkage at spawns versus. Like you can see that the members of Kai, as soon as they were killed, were just jumping right back in, right into the action.
Whereas Epsilon had
Epsilon.
to, yeah, Epsilon had to paint to get their specials to play defense, and well, that was a certified Sturgeon Tower moment. It snowballed like crazy, and at that point you're just stuck because you could only approach it a straight line right at tower, and there's a
Definitely.
splatling there. It's not going to do well. And now we're moving
Yeah.
on to Skipper Clams, which is
Ooh.
certainly an interesting. The
I
most I
like
know about
skipper
this
clams.
yeah, it's a very if you know how to play it, it's a really really cool map. But if you don't, you're just gonna be. It's like really hard to figure. If you don't understand the map, and honestly, I don't understand it too well. It's really hard to figure out where to push in clams, unless you just get a wipe and go in with like 4 specials.
Yeah, I mean, I like skipper clams, but I've been informed that this is a bit of an unpopular opinion, apparently. Although, like you said, if you know how it works, it can be really fun. I like this for the same reason I like triggerfish zones. You get a really split mentality, but you can also come together at points. So it's just really interesting for me. And it also skipper ends up being really interesting to commentate, to watch the teams decide to split themselves, their dynamics, or whether they all rush at the same time, like you said, because that's definitely a way to push on this map.
Yes, it's a definitely an interesting map and where you can push to because it's either a really tight, narrow choke point that you can breach if you've got something like bubbles or a tent shield, or a big, long slope, which you're going to need a lot of range to push up and specials, but is much more open, a lot more room to maneuver. Which, it's just really a pick your poison, though. A lot of times, I've only really played this map in solo, and everyone just kind of rushes the short direction, because it's right there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we are right into it. That ballpoint's coming back out from Kai, as well as the Secant being on that CDS now for Epsilon. So I'm really excited to see how that pick plays out. Is that a CDS or is that a VDS? No, that's a VDS. All right.
VDS.
Well, even more excited for that. I love VDS gameplay.
Yeah, and point sensor. It might be kind of looked down upon as a sub, but really, it's useful against. It's especially useful against like brushes and rollers that are sharking weapons. Even if there aren't any of those on the side of Childlike Kai, if you tag a Slayer weapon with a point sensor, they can't safely approach, say if you're a CDS or not, because they're just gonna know where you are and they're gonna pre-fire wherever you're peeking out of, and that's going really well. So it's like a really watered down version of Tenta Missiles. It forces you to stop playing the game for a second and just kind of shark and paint until the point sensor wears off.
Yeah, definitely. And while you were talking about point sensor, we've got clams counts all the way down to 9 from Kai right now. My goodness, they are
They're gonna
very
finish it
much
off.
on a roll. Yeah, they're trying. They're definitely trying. They're at 6 right now.
not.
Only 2 more clams needed, but unfortunately, that pick is going to mean that they're just short of the KO. But that is, I mean, that is the best place to be, just short of the KO.
Yeah, they were very close to it. Now, they stay play defense for a while and just keep trying to push slowly toward that KO. And just keep the pressure on Childlike, or is it? Oh, yes, it's on Childlike Kai. I got the colors mixed up for a second. Either way, Childlike Kai is going
Oh,
to be looking for push their own, but they're
I
going to
did
go
say
2
that
down.
wrong. Yes.
Yes, Childlike Kai will go 2 down. They've got clams almost for a push, but they definitely don't have the members, and there's someone at their base. That's a KO, and that's a KO fight. Yeah, I really like the Kgal pick here, though, speaking of Kgal, because that wall is so good for controlling the ramps that lead to basket.
It sure is a Kgal fight, and that Kgal fight sure is going to end in favor of Epsilon, as they are on defense right now and doing it. They are not on defense, they are on offense. I, for some reason, thought that this was their side of the mat, but it is evidently not. Either
They've
that or
got
I'm
so
very,
much
very
paint on
mixed
the
up.
enemies. They've got so much paint on the enemy side of the map, it just looks like theirs.
Is
Which,
it
I
theirs?
mean,
I
it is,
cannot
it's,
tell.
it's not their
It's
side
not
of the map
theirs.
by the
Oh my
map
god.
standards, but it's
But it
effectively
basically is
what's
theirs.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing so good, they're confusing the commentators and where their part of the map is.
Oh my
Which is
goodness.
definitely somewhere you want to be. That's a
Yeah,
3-3 situation that ballpoint's looking for something, but they just can't seem to find where anyone is. And, well, they found them, but they're gonna get ambushed. A trade coming out, the ballpoint's just gonna rush it. And they have an opening, but not for long. They will get the power climb in, but they're gonna go down. I think they just wanted to get points on the board, but I'm not sure if that's the best pick, because now they're gonna be giving Epsilon a free pity clam to continue to attempt to get that KO. I don't know if Epsilon's going to necessarily take the push just yet, or they're just going to kind of chill and spawn, not want to mark themselves with that power climb, and just continue to keep the pressure, because they really don't need to try to score here. If they want, they can just spawn camp without scoring, which is rude, but they don't have to worry about building clams, though I think that will be a power climb jumping in. And a 1v1 situation with a KGL versus a Junior, but neither of them is anywhere near each other, so it's less of a 1v1 and more of a each of them sharking different places.
Well, they found each other. Now that K-Gal's definitely been found out. So now they are going back a little bit. We got a Booyah Bomb here in mid from a member of Epsilon, popping that, looking for a pick. Doesn't get it, though, and instead taking out by the opposing K-Gal, who has their Booyah Bomb at the ready now. That's going to be 2 down on Epsilon, so hopefully Kai can attempt to get a little bit more map control with that. That Booyah Bomb, you can see them looking for people to throw it at. We've only got about a minute left, though, and that is going to be that's a lot of clams that they need to get in just this 1 minute.
Yeah, the K-Gal is doing a good job trying to push in, get control of that zone, but it's not going to be. They're looking for another pick. We saw how strong they were last match. We need to see that they get one, but they get taken out by another. 3v3 situation on the map. The special advantage is in the favor of Childlike Kai with that armor. They're trying to find. They find a pick. They need to move. They don't have near enough time to get the lead, but if they can just get a wipe, they've got a shot. But they've only got 20 seconds, so they just have to move and hope the clam spawns are in their favor, because otherwise it'll just take too long for them to keep running back to clams. And now they've got clams. They don't have enough to get the 6, I don't think, doing a really rough crush hit. But they've got the picks, they've got the opening, but they're gonna run straight into the Nautilus. The Nautilus will pop Inkjet, and the Cannonball will get the pick. It's gonna be a 3-3 situation with the members of Epsilon
What?
and someone from Epsilon. What?
Someone from Epsilon just sneakily went in and broke that barrier, and you could see the power clam was thrown in and missed the basket as it was going up, because someone on Epsilon decided that, you know, if we break their barrier, overtime ends. I don't know who it was. We didn't see it through spec cam, but it certainly worked. You could see that everyone everyone on Kai was so focused on getting a push in that there was nobody left to defend, which makes sense, and they just completely took advantage of that.
Yes, and now we're going to move on to a map that most people are a little more positive towards, which is the Anchovy Splat Zones. This is the map that's going to favor long range, if anything.
Oh boy.
Because it's so low. Like,
Definitely.
Hydra's broken here, E-Leader's incredibly powerful. That ballpoint's going to be so strong because of how long
Oh
it can
yeah.
reach. They can
Very
just stand
excited
up
to see
flat
that.
and control the zone, and then once they get pushed up, with ballpoint's maneuverability, if they can get onto their opponent's plat, that's a... As long as they've got someone watching the right flank, that's a recipe for a great lockout.
Oh yeah, I mean, Ballpoint being up there is very aggressive, but it is a great place for it to be. I wonder if that knot will come out again. We have been seeing that, and it can fare very well here. Just suppose it depends, and then we'll likely. I do just wonder what Epsilon will decide to bring out.
I think they'll stay pretty consistent. Like we'll see the zap still. We'll see
Yeah,
some sort of
likely.
midlines.
Yeah, I
I
do
don't
just
think they
wonder
have
like the
backlines
slight
on the stage
variation
yet
in
though.
midline. Yeah, the
Yeah,
slight
I think we'll
variation in
just
midline interests me.
I think we'll still see the Nautilus because that player seems to be just comfortable on Nautilus. I think the CDS would be a good pick if CCAT wants to bring that out. Though I think CCAT plays some other dually types as well, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think we'll see basically the same comp as you said from Childlike Kai. And it's the same comp from Childlike Kai. And that's CCAT. I believe that will be VDS still.
Yeah, that is a VDS all MPU as well, so that is a 30, likely a 33.3 VDS right there. Pretty interesting though. Hopefully those point sensors serve them well. We've got this remix here as well, so both sides have point sensors. Gonna be interesting to see how they use them. That's gonna be first pick right here for Kai. A Booyah Bomb immediately coming out though and taking that zone for Epsilon, as well as the missiles on all of these picks coming out
Wait,
here.
the
Oh,
spotting almost
oh,
gets picked. That's a
the
1-1
jukes.
situation with a Zap versus a Junior. The Zap will be able to recap because they've got and they can pop the armor if they really need to take the Junior down right now. And I think they're about to pop that armor, though they let the Junior get the recap because they were waiting for their team
Yeah,
and
there's
didn't
armor
want to
on
deal with
one
all those
side.
bombs. And
Oh,
the
the
armor
armor.
comes out, but it's a
Yeah.
little late. They went two down. I'm
Oh
not sure to
no!
who.
Unfortunate. Yeah, you saw them likely waiting for their teammates to get in situations where they'd want the armor before they popped it, so that they didn't waste too much time in the armor. But ultimately, that backfired on them, and now that's going to be Epsilon in very much in control right here. You see all of these walls out here from both sides. The Booyah Bomb,
That's
the
not
Inkjet,
good for that
another
jet.
Booyah Bomb. Ooh, I think the Booyah Bomb took
A nice
somebody out.
double.
It take the
The
jet as
Booyah Bomb got
well.
Yeah, the Booyah Bomb seems to have got the gal that was Booyah Bombing at the time. And then the jet,
Whoa.
I think, might have been a bit weak from the Booyah Bomb because it's very hard to dodge Booyah Bomb with a jet, as I can
Definitely.
attest
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
It's happened to me many times. And then that gal was able to finish her off. Somehow, Epsilon has recapped, but not for long, and Coffee's gonna be looking for a pick in this loss, isn't gonna get it. She's gonna give ground, paint up, get another armor, and they're gonna hope to extend their push. They've got the chance for a lockout. And I will note, we do see a Reaper instead of a ballpoint, so that is double armor or double booyah on the side of Childlike Kai. They will get pressured back by those missiles, but they're still holding. The armor is gonna come out for Epsilon though. That's gonna most likely get them recap, and they will recap. With a booyah bomb coming out though, and the gal will go down though. It's that zap. And this is going to be Childlike High forced onto defensive once again with only one member left remaining.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, we've got Epsilon in full control of that zone, although we do have a couple of members on Kai trying to come out. Unfortunately, with that zap had just going down, and that's the K shot, I can see in just a bad position, and now they've gotten censored as well, which takes away their elemental surprise that they were trying to get. The Booyah from the remix is going into the zone, but it looks like it's just gotten painted right over the other Booyah, taking someone out though, taking the Junior out, which is crucial for paint, and so 16 seconds from the KO, Kai is able to take back that zone. I mean, we are just over halfway into the match and it has already felt like an eternity.
That's going to be a double out of that 52, absolutely destroying any chance of a lockout right now for Kai. They just got to hold, and they're not going to be able to do that either because another member will go down. Specials coming out. There's still 2 minutes, so this really is anyone's game at this moment, but Kai is going to have to start being a bit more careful. They've got to get a few more picks, and they have to be able to establish a full lockout, otherwise they just won't have enough time. Really looking at only less than 2 minutes remaining, and they haven't even got back in zone yet. They got the missiles, they've got the booyah, they've got the other booyah. They don't recap because it seems there's a lot of paint coming out. And they are going to lose 2 members. That's a 2v2 situation. They're painting like crazy. They will they will not get the cap. They looked really close to getting it. The remix will get a pick though. It's gonna booyah frantically, but
They missed.
that
The
was a
fan.
brilliant move by their opponents to trigger the fan and block that booyah, letting them get it all the way down to 5 and make it that much harder for Kai to be able to get the lead they want so desperately. But now they've got their shot. If they get picks here, it's gonna be very good for them.
Whether that was purposeful or accidental, I have never seen someone use stage terrain like that to block something that. That's. I mean, I'm kind of in shock at that. That was amazing just to see the use of the fan in that way to block the trajectory of an otherwise of a Booyah that would otherwise have dampened their lead so much. And now we've got them in control of the zone, only at 21 right now, but unfortunately they're gonna lose and get a penalty applied to them. And so now it is Epsilon's turn to attempt to work through their penalty. This remix here is on the floor with their teammates though, and so able to take back the zone, but they've got a member down. That Junior's gonna pop arm. They've got missiles popped, a member goes down. That they've lost 2 now as well, and this remix is forced to back off so far, unfortunately, anticipating that other people will come through that plat to take advantage of their placement right now, and that is exactly what is happening right here. This K-Gal here stuck between a rock and a hard place, and opposites just go out. That Booyah there in a little bit of an awkward position, so they're just gonna throw it right there and hope for the best. We are in 3 seconds left.
And the recap!
We've got through the penalties for that too, but the recap puts so much on them, and now it is up. We are so close right now. That pick though from the K-Gal, oh my goodness, they are just up here right now on top of the world, and they're attempting to do everything they can. It's gonna be 2 down now. Oh my goodness. Epsilon trying to do everything they can. They take back the zone, and they're gonna take the tournament.
Yes. I think the real MVP of this whole match is that fan.
Definitely. Oh my goodness. That fan play. That was amazing. I've never seen anything like that before. Just blocking it with the thing that's underneath them. That was great. And wow, that was also
look, we say this, the
match.
teams are gonna watch back and be like, oops.
Yeah, I bet so much that was just an accident.
I've had these crazy plays.
Wait, is it
like,
2-2?
Yes,
did I
it is,
celebrate too
2-2.
early? Oh my god, I celebrated too early. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I have completely
Wait, I
lost
didn't even
track.
register that you said that.
How did
But
you
yes,
not
it is
register that I said that? I was
I
celebrating for them
was
so
too busy
hard.
thinking about how I've said
Oh my
stupid shit in
god.
solo queue, and like it looks like a
Bro,
straight play. Anyway,
both of us
we're
are
going
kind
on
of
to a
messes.
very fun map. Felon Rainmaker.
Oh boy, I can't believe
It's
I
gonna be
can't believe
absolute
we're
chaos.
ending it here. We're ending this on Schellendorf Rainmaker.
Honestly, I like that the game 5 matches are these, for both lines of Top Cut, are just these absolute chaotic maps.
Oh my
It's
god.
really fun to watch.
Who made this map list?
Rose, and I think it's very cool.
Oh my god. Yeah, you think it's cool because you programmed our bot specifically to spit out cursed maps.
I will. Okay, that's gonna be the map list for the next IGGA.
Oh, please don't. You already did that for what, a TG? You don't need
No,
to.
I used a different thing for TG
No,
maps.
you definitely use that for TG maps. What are you talking about?
I used the lovely JPEGs map generator.
You
I think
sure?
for that. Actually,
No,
I've lost track.
I'm pretty sure you definitely used Annie for that.
Commentators argue about what commentator used to
No,
make
you
cursed maps.
definitely used Annie for that. I remember because you like sifted through it and then showed it to Raze, and Raze was like, "Yeah, that's good." Oh my
Yes,
god.
I do recall that. It was a very fun testing runs. Maybe that'll be next IGGA.
Oh god.
I'll
Well,
just
you gotta
brag
you gotta get approval from the head TOs first.
Oh yeah. Anyway, this is a very interesting map. It favors range, especially in glass. The ballpoint or the remix will be very strong here because run speed means they can maneuver quickly in grass, and they've got so much range while maneuvering. It's going to be very strong for them. Other than that, I don't think we'll see too much change for either team. The prize can reward what they're most comfortable with right now because of how tense it is and how important this match is going to be to whoever gets a month of Nitro, and we all want Nitro, so.
We do all want Nitro. We also want that sick Sendu badge that you can see displayed in the server as well. So here we go, Grand Finals, Game 5, Epsilon versus Kai right here, right now. And so we've got that ballpoint coming out again. Really want to see how they act on glass. That's going to be huge, the range that they can afford. And you can see the knot as well.
Wolf is
chilling
swimming
out.
on glass.
Whoa!
And will stealthily take out that ballpoint. You didn't even see them coming. They were too busy looking at the person below them. But Wolf will be taken off by a nice shot from that zap. 3C situation in the field. Armor coming out for both sides. One member did just respawn to teammate, but they lost a different one. The Booyah Bomb coming out. The gal's in trouble though. Coffee strafing the slightly faster stray speed of that ends up coupled with a run speed they might be running coming so much in handy right there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is one of those maps where Splatlings can thrive on glass and lots of other speedy weapons that normally strafe a lot. Maybe you don't see the effects on most maps, but on here, glass is just so obvious. And Coffee here just dropping down, taking out that Rainmaker immediately, and using this block as cover as well. They've been found out, but they are not dead yet. And with the help of their teammate, they're going to take out the person that was trying to take them on. That Rainmaker is still there, and you can see just how frantic both of these teams are. They are hungry for the win right now. The Rainmaker is going to reset back to mid as both teams are looking for a
Nice,
big
they're coming out of
advantage.
that tree.
Oh my
There,
god,
and
yes,
that's
this
gonna open things
shot.
up. They just need to get that Nautilus. If they had been able to get that, they're still gonna be a great place with those missiles at the ready as well. They just need to get another opening pick and wait for their ballpoint to respawn, then pop it. Getting a pick of the Nautilus. This is their opening they need. They just need to go specials and. Oh no, that was probably the most dangerous push they could have taken, and it's somehow gonna work.
How did the Rainmaker get up there? And how is it still working? You can see the Nautilus gunning for them.
And they're gonna
but
juke out. They're gonna
they
fake
take
out the
the lead
Nautilus.
somehow through that.
Massive. It
Oh
felt
my
like
gosh.
miscalculation because usually when people go up there, they get stuck and they're just going up there because they don't quite know where to go. But instead, they'll get a 20-point lead with a crazy different variation of maneuvering, and the ballpoint will trade out that CDS, which is going to be so crucial. And now, just like we saw in front of it, Rainmaker, there's a K-Gal in your base, to the tune of "There's a zombie on your lawn," but I can't actually sing that.
These are shark-infested waters, and we are seeing so many of them.
I mean, it's the
out in
museum, so they've probably got a few shark skeletons lying around.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've seen a lot of skeletons here. There's probably a shark skeleton somewhere laying around the map textures if anyone cares enough to look. But these are completely shark-infested waters with all of the action that this K-Gal is bringing. We've got missiles coming out, armor coming out as well, and so Epsilon has decided to pick up that Rainmaker yet again. They're going to take it through this left path right now, but they are
They're gonna be called
confronted
out.
by many members and a little bit pincered right there.
However,
that
that's a
K-Gal,
full wipe.
yeah,
And
taking out
Stella's
mid
gonna have to
Guido Blanco.
run, and they're going. They're
They're
gonna
going
find the
indeed. Oh,
Rainmaker.
they missed the
They're gonna
ramp.
find
That
an.
is- Oh.
And they're gonna find another. They're gonna find
What a
three.
triple! Beautiful! Oh my god, this shot is on fire! And they still have the missiles to boot. Wow, that was perfect. That was absolutely perfect timing from them, and now they're gonna chase that
They
remaining person
just
off the
came
ramp.
right around. They were just like.
Oh my god, they were like,
came
you know.
right. Oh, and they
Oh
died.
no, and they swim right into a bomb.
However, this
Oh,
is just
so
only
much
one
for
up,
timing.
and the Rainmaker's going, and they're gonna just the K-Gal was a
Oh.
little fast. They
Yeah,
probably should have stood a
K-Gal.
wall to their right. They didn't. I'm not sure if they knew where the CDS was, but either way, they've pushed up, and they're going.
There is still a
Somewhere.
K-Gal
Yeah, there-
in your base. How many people does it take to take out one K-Gal? And evident at least the entire team, they don't even die. They jump out
And they
with
jump
the
back to a
entire
beacon.
team on their back. Kai right now is on a roll in this game 5 right now. We are gonna go into the last minute of this match in just a few seconds here, and there is so much on the line, and there's just so little room to maneuver between these two leads right now. But right now, we have Kai in solid control of the Rainmaker. They have so much paint on the ground, and they have so many ways that they can go through. Unfortunately, with their zap going down, it's going to be a little bit harder. They're going to try and go up again, but you can see that the members of Epsilon predicted that.
Triple
That's a
wipe.
full
That's
wipe.
not
Oh,
good.
no.
However, it seems they got it so far. It's gonna be stuck for a bit.
Yeah,
The
it's
Rainmaker's
very, very
it's gonna
far.
take time.
Yeah.
That was honestly their best move, if anything, to try to stall
Mm-hmm.
the Rainmaker. The missiles coming out. They've got to be careful here, but they've got a chance. The bombs are coming out. They got that. They need to get that wall. But that's 2 down. This is gonna be so very close. The 1v1.
3 down,
and they
that
get the lead.
They take the lead. They are able to take the lead in just the last 15 seconds. They're going for it. They ate the pedestal. They take the tournament. Oh my goodness, what a comeback! That is commentator's
Yeah,
curse
that
for
was
you, I suppose.
Such good play by
Oh
both
my
teams.
goodness!
But in the end,
Wow. Kai just
Mm.
narrowly defeated in the last 15 seconds of this game 5. We've got KAs through the roof. CK on that VDS getting 17. And with that, we can crown Enlightened Epsilon's Epsilon the winner of It's Dangerous to Go Alone. What number is this? 25?
yes. This is Epsilon.
25. Wow. That is quite the end.
Yes. Great tournament. All the matches I've seen were exceptional in this top cut, and this was probably one of the
Yeah.
best. This is the best Shellendorf Rainmaker match I've seen.
Yeah, I know. That was absolutely amazing. So yeah, with that, like we said, that's going to crown Epsilon's the winner and Kai the runner-up. Amazing job to everyone that came out and played tonight. Thank you to everyone that came out and watched tonight as well. Thank you to all of our staff. Thank you to Sky, our wonderful streamer, and thank you, Cork, for commentating with me.
Yeah, it's a blast as always to commentate with you. I mean,
Yeah.
we've commentated a lot.
We have. Right before we wrap up, can you tell the lovely people in the audience where they can find you on the internet?
I can be found at Strange Court on Twitter. I'm just going to be retweeting art and occasionally having something random to say. And where can people find you on
You can
the internet?
find you can find me at Cater_, where I post art, talk about being queer, and also talk about a lot of the other things I commentate. I bounce around a lot of different organizations, so you can see me in a lot of different places, and hopefully I'll get to see some of you very, very soon. With
Yes.
that, we bid you all good night, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time zone you are in. Again, a huge thank you to everyone who was involved in this event. Thank you for coming out to watch, and we will see you next time.
Gay, homosexual, gay.